America's teams, Kyle. Let me give you the first crack at it.
Well, I'm glad you called on me because I've been sitting here since 6:30 a.m. writing up my America's teams, and it's got to be number one, the Houston Astros /
That's a major Russell Wilson move.
I'm 90 minutes early, flex.
Yeah, the Russell. What are you doing? High knees?
I took an Uber here from my own home.
Calisthenics in the Uber.
So there's a flex and a humble flex.
Yeah.
Golly day.
What's up with the Uber? Did your sports car crash?
I flew. Thank you for asking. I flew to New York this weekend and drove home with my lovely wife and an infant daughter. And we drove right by the airport where my car was because we had to get home. You understand? You guys with children out there.
Why stop?
Why stop? We got to get home.
Take too long.
Got to get home always, which is great. We love home. So I'm going to go get my car after this podcast. Matt's actually going to drive me over there. So thank you, Matt.
Drove right past it.
Drove right past the airport.
Like the airport, for the record, is
Kate's in the back seat with a pacifier in our daughter's mouth, like Mom of the Year award just for the ride yesterday. And I said, hi, car, bye, car. She's like, LOL, like, we should stop. And I was like, absolutely not. We're going home.
Would have added 45 seconds to your drive home.
Did you bounce some of your America's teams off the Uber driver?
No, I think he wasn't. He wasn't there for the conversation.
Okay. Hit us, Kyle.
Astros, Houston Astros.
Oof.
They were cheaters. We know it. They cheated. But you know what? Now they did it the right way. Dusty Baker has them doing it the right way. And I think it's people were kind of happy to see Dusty Baker win in the Astros. America's team number
Dusty
one.
Baker, that was a genius move by Astros ownership to make the Astros palatable.
Yep.
You know, like
he's the only guy.
You can't be mad at Dusty Baker and his fucking glove.
Jordan.
His black glove. His black
school.
latex glove. And all the post, I was mad, right? Because I wanted the Phillies to win, but like, I couldn't help but laugh. That black latex glove was in every shot.
And hanging on for dear life when he was
to the
being
fence.
hugged.
Yeah.
And he coached guys like Barry Bonds and Jeff Kent and people that were like widely thought of as cheaters and assholes, and people loved them because
common denominator.
Dusty Baker had their back, right? He
Spin
always
zone.
had his players' back.
Yeah, spin zone.
And I love that about the Astros. Spin zone.
Dusty Baker
one.
is the common denominator.
He has so many gloves on him because he was the one with the syringes with those guys, huh?
Could have been such a good dude. I could see it.
Putting two and two together.
The cream,
here.
the clear.
We're not saying he did it, but
sometimes
okay. So
it just
number
equals
2.
four,
I'm moving
Kyle.
on, guys. Moving on. Number 2, Justin Fields' Chicago Bears. Because my God, what an epic performance yesterday!
It's so awesome.
We are in for so many fun games. The Chicago Bears offense is going to be existent.
Yeah.
I loved Chase Claypool, to your point last week. Get him the ball early and often. And we need guys on defense, but that's what the $150 million in cap space is for. That's what the draft picks are for. That's what these guys in the ownership position have put Ryan Poles and Ian Yates-Cunningham in. Okay, so that's...
No, but Kyle, if you're a Bears fan out there...
God, it's exciting.
Have fun. Don't get too out over your skis here because a lot can go wrong, as you know.
Yeah.
But you've got the guy in the building.
And now free agents watch these games.
Yes.
And free agents say, fuck, I want to lead block for him. Because now you see Cole Kmet getting the ball. Darnell Mooney, huge
coming.
catch. Yeah, sorry.
Like free agents
it fires
are like,
me up.
I want to play in Arlington Heights.
Looks sweet. A lot closer to Lake Forest than downtown Chicago. Number 3, America's team, the U.S. Attorney's Office in Eastern District of Virginia, because you know what? Allegedly, that asshole of the year, of the decade, Dan Snyder, has Jonathan Jones told me this yesterday. Somebody has alleged that they were selling tickets for $55 that were supposed to be sold for $44. And you spread that out over a year and thousands of tickets. Now you're looking at millions of dollars that are coming out of the pockets of players. The collective bargaining agreement. That means everybody earns money. They bring it to the middle. And they do
he stole from everybody, Kyle.
He's stealing from everybody.
He's stealing from the owners.
But you know who's coming for his ass? The U.S. Attorney's Office in the Eastern District of Virginia, baby. We're coming for your ass, Dan Snyder. We're going to find out what you did.
Hey, it's not real hard to find out what he did. Don't forget the harassment. I mean, he's
I'm just
all
talking
over the
one
map.
allegation.
He's all over the map.
Okay,
he's all over the map.
Number 4, and this guy is awesome. Shout out. It's just a reserve police officer, I believe, PJ Chigazola. The LSU event security guard dog who's standing by the goalpost at the end of this game. And we'll put the picture up. If you guys are online, you'll see it as well. But this guy absolute swole factory, just built like a power lifter, all chest, all belly and arms. And you know what? Some guy said, you wouldn't catch me if I got up that pole. And he said, you ain't fucking getting up that pole. I'm going to ragdoll your ass before you get there.
I haven't seen this guy. I turned the TV off immediately after that game.
Okay, so that's Pete Chigazola. And then Notre Dame, we got to throw them in there. They're doing the Lord's work. They beat Dabo Swinney 35-14 or some shit. You know, the Lord didn't want to keep it close more than a one-possession game. And anytime you beat Clemson, you're going to make my list.
Dabo Swinney really ran into a buzzsaw. All that praying, you can't out-pray Notre Dame.
Can't do it. People have tried.
They have a statue of Jesus.
Touchdown, Jesus.
Yeah, you got a bowling alley, Dabo. You know what I mean?
And Marcus Freeman makes that squad likable.
He does.
And James Laurinaitis makes that squad likable.
Yep.
Look at, oh my God.
Yeah, that guy's a unit.
My guy, this is PJ Chigazola from hold on, I can shout out his hometown because this deserves
I don't know that it matters.
Okay.
Grand Isle, Louisiana.
Grand Isle, Louisiana.
Grand Isle.
I had it on my,
He's from Grand Isle.
Up. Shout out to
Guy's from Grand Isle.
Don't fuck with Grand Isle.
You meet somebody from Grand Isle, you got no follow-up.
So those are my America's teams.
All right, mine, number 1, the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah.
So GD impressed by that Sunday night performance. No receiver had a catch.
Yep.
Ever.
All right? They went up against Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. No receiver had a catch, and they found themselves in overtime.
The entire team only had 5 catches.
No A.J. Brown. To a lesser extent, no Julio Jones, no Harold Landry. Robert Woods hasn't been L.A. Robert Woods. No Traylon Burks. Now no Ryan Tannehill. And they beat on your ass, even in a loss. They just beat on your ass. Mm-hmm. It was highly enjoyable. That Jeffrey Simmons, love that team. America's team. Hey, TCU, 9-0. It beat Texas Tech by 10. They're now 9-0. Did I say that already?
Yep.
Hey, Sammy Baugh and Davey O'Brien went to TCU. Bet you didn't know that.
Did not.
Want to name some other Horned Frogs?
David Roach.
Vitae. Jerry Hughes.
Halabody Vitae, Jerry Hughes.
Lucas Niang.
Don't put out a social, though, because some guy's going to be like, you forgot about Tyler Lockett, you fucking idiots. Remember?
Yes.
Remember we put out a Kansas State social, and people are like, they expect you to name every player that ever went to Kansas State.
All we do is talk about Tyler Lockett here.
I love that you guys said that.
Yeah.
I'd love to come
Michael
on.
Bishop
Michael
did.
Bishop
Ben Lieber
reached out.
did. Yeah.
Yeah, so we should
Very
name
cool.
some more Horned Frogs.
Yeah. Okay. Joe Noteboom.
Yeah.
Fine. Lucas Niang. Easy.
Okay.
LJ Collier.
All right.
These are all current.
Yeah.
Jason Verrett. There are 26 TCU Horned Frogs in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
26.
That's pretty good.
Right.
That's not to mention LaDainian Tomlinson.
Yep.
Andy Dalton, the Red Rocket.
Mm-hmm.
Others.
Andy.
Others.
So TCU might be playing for a natty title here before long. That's dope. LSU, walk-off two-pointer. Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Now, Chris will be... you'll be entertaining on this front as you weren't at the game, though you had a sideline pass for the game. But it seemed like there were a lot of viral loads in that crowd.
Honestly, it didn't even look fun. Seriously, that was a little crowded down there. Like, you could have got trampled. People were out. It wasn't safe. There was a woman in a walker. There was a woman in a wheelchair.
Yeah, that walker was impressive.
You know, the flight down there was too expensive, guys.
The coolness of LSU transcends even Brian Kelly.
I don't want to talk about it.
Just a small angle.
Can we not talk about it? Let's just not talk about it.
I forget that you had like tentative plans to go down there.
Yeah. Well,
All right.
fuck my plans.
Next year.
They're not important.
You'll like this one better.
Same.
Louisiana Tech. All right. Improved to 3-6. They beat Middle Tennessee by some score. They've won 3 of their last 9. And that logo, is a boot. It's the state of Louisiana with a big old T on it. But the reason they're one of America's teams is they got a bulldog
Oh
driving
my
a
God! In a
fucking
Chevrolet,
Corvette.
riding around the end zone
in the new Camaro.
in a new Camaro. I mean, how dope is this? This is the
Steering? Is it remote controlled?
It's I think it's a self-driving situation.
That is amazing.
It's a bulldog in a little car that
I
your
can't stop looking at it.
toddler rides around in.
I just can't stop looking at it.
I mean, you probably want to get these for your bulldog. Do you know?
Yeah, no. My bulldog's like, I need one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, no question. Big
So that's
Tony.
dope.
Big Tony in a Corvette.
Oh my
The
God.
boss would like to see you.
And I'll round it out with the Seattle Seahawks, a mainstay of my America's team, 6-3. I was on Arizona. I believe you were on Arizona.
Yeah.
6-3, heading to Munich to face the hapless Bucks. Kenneth Walker currently being fitted for a gold jacket for F's sake. Guy's the most electric
You guys picked the Cardinals?
football player. Yeah, it was a stinky
Yeah, the line stunk.
Guys, call me.
Cardinals by
Oh,
2.
please.
Call
Kyle.
God.
Please,
Who
Kyle.
says call God?
Guy gets
Who
a
says-
fucking studio job. All of a sudden, he's a
I'm
handicapper.
kidding. Chris, I'm the last place guy in my...
Well, Kyle, we lost money yesterday. You're on the sidelines,
Got it.
okay?
Got it.
Fucking respect that, please.
Once you're the man in the arena, come talk
Yeah,
to
Teddy
us.
Roosevelt.
Subject.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah.
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 All right. Eagles, number 1. Okay. They're fucking, like smoke clears the Phillies. Yeah, Phillies weren't that good anyways, right? They were
They're
really
like 8 over 500.
they played above themselves. I was out there Thursday. More on that later. But they stranded a bunch of runners, and Yordan Alvarez fucking went. Alvarez first pitch, I feel like it was. We were sitting together watching that game.
We were.
So no more Phillies in the America's teams ranking. Number 2, Notre Dame. Somebody had Notre Dame. Notre Dame for beating Clemson, for ridding us of that. I mean, I have Clemson fatigue so fucking much. I'm so happy.
I do
We
too.
have another one that, and I highlighted it to show you.
fatigue.
But the Tennessee Titans in a loss, joining America's teams because Mike Vrabel's just that guy. I
Yep.
mean, like shit can be all fucked
Amazing.
up, but they can stay competitive.
Red, white, and blue, America.
Tulane, you guys lobbed me. Tulane. Tulane's really good. Tulane is adding a new
HOV. Lane.
okay.
I thought you were going to finish that.
No, I didn't want to because obviously I think he'd get it the second time.
Fool me once.
Yeah.
Shame on me.
Yeah,
Fool
yeah.
me.
They
Can't
got,
fool me twice.
they
Yeah.
got Tulsa by
Yeah.
2.
You ain't gonna fool me.
You ain't gonna fool. We'll not be fooled again. Okay.
Big one with UCF next
Just
week.
saying it,
Yeah.
Tennessee.
Yeah, of course. Everybody's got an eye on Tulane. LDOT has an eye on Tulane because they're expanding. Okay, so Florida State
Huge.
beat up on Miami, and I don't mind when Miami gets beat up on. They're back. They're back. I can remember when we were kids. They're not back. But I can remember when we were kids, Florida State was like the gold
team.
standard. I can remember watching Florida State and being like, I'd love to go there someday, but they don't have any white D linemen. Everybody looks so athletic.
Garnet,
Those
Garnet
gold
and
pants
gold
at night.
standard.
Oh my God! Every big game on TV was Florida State, and it's nice to see them back in the damn thing because the ACC is hurting right
when
now.
that place, when Doak Campbell's rocking,
Yeah,
there's gotta be a
34 to
phrase that
3.
comes after that.
34 to
knocking.
3.
Don't come and knock.
I can remember when Virginia was actually like really good.
I remember this
my
game.
freshman year, and I had mononucleosis, and I had to
did.
sit at home and watch this game because if you get hit in the spleen, you could die.
That's right. With me again, we have a long history of watching ball. I get a lot of shit for not being your friend, but we watch a lot of ball together.
You're referencing a game in 2003, and then the most recent one was Saturday night.
Hey, answer me this: did you get mono from making out with a girl or something?
Maybe, I don't know.
It's
Chugging a fucking, I don't know, sharing a Mad Dog 2020 with some dirtbag.
okay.
I don't know, but I lost 25 pounds. It was a harrowing experience.
You guys were savages.
Yeah, we were savages, Kyle.
Like actually savages.
But Virginia was ranked higher than Florida State, and Ernie Sims and them were so fucking mad they beat us 34 to 3. They absolutely jumped us at Doak.
Was it his face mask that was right against his nose?
I don't know.
Which linebacker?
I
was
don't
that?
know.
Gino, maybe.
I just remember him coming to Virginia our sophomore year and running up and down the sidelines and talking shit to our recruits. Telling them not to come to this
Oh my god.
shitty school. And then we beat them. So, yeah.
That's the night the lights
Who's the
went
loser
out.
now, Ernie Sims? Respectfully. I want to add an axis of evil on the end of this thing.
Okay.
Alabama for not beating LSU and taking care of my FOMO Saturday night. I mean, all you had to do was beat LSU, and I would have felt a lot better about not going down to Baton Rouge. The Houston Astros are on there, too. The Green Bay Packers, they are joining the do not bet list, the DMB list. And then lastly, should I just fucking dig into Wheels Up now or wait until Miller Lite mentions?
I don't know.
Let's wait until Miller Lite
Okay.
mentions.
All right.
Okay.
Stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
That's going to be good time.
Be complaining about some first world problems. Stick around.
Yep.
And you came in this morning with like a million sheets of paper, and you were like, "We need a power ranking."
Well,
This is your baby. Take us home.
Mike Florio puts out a sexy looking graphic with Chris Sims every week, and I stare at it for 20 seconds.
It's so stupid, though.
It's engrossing. Oh, it's so
No,
stupid.
power rankings are the dumbest fucking things in the world, dude.
Yeah.
What I asked you this
Subject to
question, and I go,
change.
okay, like right now, or
Yeah.
the team in December,
Exactly.
like the Bills yesterday without Milano and Poyer, the fucking Bills were Josh Allen's drunk, or the Kansas City Chiefs, like in the first quarter, or
I think
it changes every week. Who
right.
looks back at these things? It's just a content filler, man. But go ahead, yeah.
Okay, so the six of us in this room filled out our top 7.
Yeah, I was last.
Ended up winding up with 11 clubs, tied for 10th in the Green Light Power Rankings. The New York Giants and the Miami Dolphins, huh?
Tied for 10.
Now, for the record, go ahead.
9, Cincy. 8, Seattle. 7, Minnesota. 6, Baltimore. 5, Dallas. 4, San Francisco. 3, Kansas City. 2, Buffalo. And 1, Philadelphia.
Is that everybody's list?
Yeah, that's the compilation.
Compile.
Man, we were right on it.
Yeah.
So
A little credibility to the Green Light Power
was that an
Rankings.
olive?
no,
Match?
not at all. Not at all. I hate this fucking exercise, but I realized that we all probably picked about the same thing. Now, we had some interesting ones here. I want to
forgot
see
the
how
Ravens
disrespectful anybody got here.
Matt put the Vikings at number 1 overall.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to say this about the Vikings. And they weren't in my top 7, which is an arbitrary number.
Well, I thought we
Touchdown.
I think we'd only do 5.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah,
we kept getting so many
Well,
submissions.
listen, here's the thing about the Vikings. Dirty little secret. They haven't beaten anybody.
Yeah.
Now, I like the Vikings. They just missed the cut on my top 7.
And who's
We have
your
a-
one loss to?
Oh, this is Kingston. He's got the Bengals
Eagles.
at 7. The one loss to the Eagles. Yeah. And the Eagles made him look kind of silly on Monday night or whatever it was. So, yeah, Kingston's got the Bengals in that motherfucker.
I think that's Kyle. He has a nice all caps writing style.
Yep. Vikings 4.
I did a
Cowboys
big
5.
piece on
Niners
TJ
7.
yesterday, so.
Okay. Who's this?
I also
Let's
like
rate the
this
handwritings.
This handwriting was really cool.
Yeah. Let's see.
This
Right?
is assuming that the games
Yeah.
are played at noon.
We
right?
have similar handwriting.
For the
Because
record,
I
I
think
had
Kirk
I had
Cousins is
Seattle
different
just
now.
missing the cut, and I thought about putting Tennessee in here, and we'll talk about Tennessee, but Tennessee's wins. I'm gonna whisper this: Houston, Indy, Washington, Indy, Las Vegas Raiders.
Hey, they don't make the schedule. They got to play who's in front of
I
them.
know, and I really fuck with them. They're a top 10 team because their floor is so high.
And
but-
had there been fewer submissions, they could be the
They're a
only
te-
10 I see.
They're a mid-major that can beat an Elite 8, a 1 seed, like the NCAA tournament.
Read that though. Read that there for the nice young lady who peppers our Greenlight account with 7 mentions every time we talk about the Dolphins.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
C-Long.
Oh my God, ma'am, this is a Wendy's.
Yeah.
C-Long put
Perfect
the Miami
representation.
Dolphins at 7. The only reason why the Miami Dolphins made our top 10. C-Long right there.
Yeah, and they are 7 because the offense is so goddamn good. But if you could fix the fucking defense down there, I mean, holy shit.
That was
I know
tricky, though.
Justin Fields is him. He's Himothy, but that's a lot of points there. If they could fix that, they might be a top 5 team.
At Detroit, at Chicago, we talked about it. Tricky. They
Tricky,
survive,
tricky.
and then they got Browns, Texans, bye.
I didn't feel so great about putting Baltimore in my top 7, but I want to give them the respect that they're due and project that defense is going to get better. And another thing about Baltimore is Lamar made his worst throws the first half of this year. Like he couldn't make worse throws in some of those big situations, and he won't do that the second half of the year.
Well, I'm still trying to move Lamar from my fantasy program to yours.
I don't care about
Our two
fantasy football this
Poor
year.
fantasy programs.
I'm in the middle. I'm not going to win the league. I'm not going to lose the league.
You say that, but
There's no
it's-
penalty this year because people couldn't fucking figure it out. Group text full of 15 adult men. We can't come up with a punishment.
Oh, that was a good play. The fuck up. Go spend time with your family. Look, watching every NFL game.
Yeah. Okay.
Jeez.
My wife controls mine. I don't even look at it. I don't even know the login.
All right. So
don't know
that
what
was the
app
power
it's
rankings.
How much fun was that?
So stupid. It's so fucking stupid. Every time I see one, I want to just I want to throw my phone.
Oh, I just want to read them.
I love ranking
Yes.
things. And
Yeah.
No, that's fine, but like every week it changes in the NFL. Like,
You're
what's
right.
the point? Like, people are like, "Oh, this week the Falcons
long
won. They're
as-
up 7 spots."
Chris, hear
Who
me
the
out.
fuck cares, Mike Florio?
As long
Who
as-
cares, Peter King? Who cares?
Chris,
should
as
have done
long
the
as there's
bottom
an arrow up or down,
Bottom 7's
That
more
would've been more fun.
Yeah.
it has to look this way. It has to be the 1 through 7. It has to have a red or a green arrow next to
Oh.
them, if up or down. I like that.
Three arrows would be good.
Right, like a lot of acceleration.
A lot of movement this week. A team lost.
Chris.
Oh, we could make them like race cars.
okay.
Like Philly could be in front.
Yeah.
It could be a graphic, like a bar graph sort of thing.
Like
Yeah.
Foxfield.
Yeah.
Horses.
Yeah, we could do horses.
Hey, real quick before we get to football, America's teams, whoever's figuring out fucking climate change, it's 80 degrees out this motherfucker today, dude.
I'm in a spring
Middle of
outfit.
November.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Okay. The Jets should be in the conversation too after yesterday.
I guess.
The Jets, no, they should because they have their defense is good. If Zach Wilson, who is Kyle Wilson?
Kyle Wilson.
Miami
Yep,
quarterback, right? That's Kyle Wright.
One of them Wilsons could figure out how to fucking just not throw the ball to the other team as he did yesterday. They're pretty good. I mean, like their defense is very good. They've shut the passing game. Should we just start with them?
Sure.
It's probably the biggest win. I think Jets fans are more on top of the world than anybody in the NFL right now.
Yep.
So, what a start for them too. I mean, the game started with the kicker fucking falls down.
Amazing.
I hear the clown noise.
It was amazing.
Dun, 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 and then the next play, Diggs beats Sauce Gardner on a double move, and you're like, "Fuck, dude, our hero is vanquished. Stephon Diggs is a beast.
We're going to call him by his real name.
We're the Jets. We just lost in New England last week. It would be easy for that team to kind of pack it in, and you might have seen them. You might have seen it get ugly if Josh Allen wasn't playing like he's playing right now. Josh Allen, man, and I'm a huge fan of Josh Allen, obviously goes without saying, he's established. He's an established guy. You know why people don't point out bad throws he makes as much as maybe some other quarterbacks? It's because he's established. Okay? So you'll let 1 or 2 slip, but when he's thrown 4 picks in 2 games, you know, he overthrew Gabe Davis last week on 3rd and 7 rolling right. I was like, I gawked. You know, it wasn't a game that was out of hand to where Aaron Rodgers couldn't get back in it. And he had some really careless decisions last week. And then it just continued. They're in the red zone early in this game, and he throws a pick, like a bad pick.
Jordan Whitehead.
Both the picks were bad. So again, it's like when you're on the road, no matter who you are, and we see this with Green Bay, we're going to talk about them in a little bit. You know, I've pointed this out at various junctures this year. If you're the better team, or you think you're the better team, or you're not the better team, and you're on the fucking road,
Yes.
you have to score early. When you have your opportunities, you have to take advantage of them offensively. And when you don't, they come back to bite you. So really tough for them. In the red zone, they don't throw that ball. They're up 7-0. Allen scores again the next possession. Maybe it's 14-0. These points matter. And they also missed a 55-yard field goal.
To your point, Chris, when you're on the road, particularly in a division game, when you know the enemy so well, and
Sun Tzu.
every guy knows every single player on defense, you know, and you've talked shit to him before, sucking the life out of a stadium as an offense is one of the best feelings in football. When you're on the road, you score early, and then it becomes your stadium on the road, and your fans become louder than their fans in their own venue. But if you let a team like the Jets stick around at home, like the Lions with the Green Bay game, and you mentioned that too, shit happens. Shit can happen in the NFL. That's why it's set up for parity.
And shit will happen. And Garrett Wilson's a fucking beast, dude. I mean, the way his route running, his cuts, like he's a very unique athlete. And they tried to press him. They couldn't press him. This guy is he's a star in the making.
That 13-play, 75-yard drive after Buffalo went up 14-3. That was the Garrett Wilson drive.
That's the Garrett Wilson drive. And then there was a James Robinson drive.
Yep.
So things are paying off for the Jets. Like, first off, I don't want to gloss over Zach Wilson not throwing the balls that he threw last week. And by the way, that Patriots win and then their win this week, it looks like they're rounding into form
He's
a little
in
bit.
rhythm.
But
And they get the Patriots again.
they get the Patriots again. That'll be
next
interesting to see if that was an aberration or if they just, like, Bill just has this kid's number or something. But, you know, that last drive, the Jets are backed up with 8 to go. And they run the ball right down Buffalo's throat. And they do it for 7 minutes. And they kick a field goal. But what that sets up is 90 seconds remaining, backed up. You get a hold. You get a huff sack, which, like this kid is, when he's in the game, he's making a difference. Last week, he forced an interception, I think it was. He shows up again big in this situation. And I think Josh hurt his elbow. I know he's had a UCL thing in like 2018. He had a little elbow stuff. He says it's okay. But I don't know, man. Actually, I know it's okay because the next play he threw it 70 yards. Fucking 70 yards. It hits Gabe Davis in the face. It's a beautiful throw. I mean, you want to know what arm arrogance looks like? That's it. Mm-hmm. PJ Walker threw the ball like 68 yards or something last week. Josh was like, watch this.
Yeah.
I think he needs to shave the mustache. I think the mustache has got bad juju because he just hasn't been the same since I've seen that fucking
fresh-faced Josh.
Yeah.
Von Miller again showing up in a big situation.
That should be a game-changing
Puts your team in a position to win the game, and then you can't finish.
Yep.
That's oh my god.
Here's what it was.
Maybe worst flight Buffalo.
Maybe the biggest deal.
20-minute flight.
That's a short flight.
20-minute flight.
Yeah, they're good.
Awful.
Up and down.
Awful.
But up and down. That is frustrating.
Wi-Fi doesn't even fucking turn on.
Yeah, it's stupid. You're trying to fucking check your
more
Twitter
time
and
getting
see.
wanded than in the air.
More time getting wanded than actually
exactly.
in the air. And you can't even check your terrible mentions after a game like that, which is probably a good thing. But the thing about Buffalo, and the reason, when we did the power rankings, I went Eagles. I went. I think I went Buffalo and then Kansas City. Okay, Buffalo has two very important guys. They have a couple very important guys down, but Matt Milano
is the biggest
makes
piece.
a huge difference. So they'll get him back. Poyer, right?
Can I touch on the Milano importance? Because I talked about this yesterday on that other pregame show on CBS Sports with Charles Davis, and I talked about the importance of Matt Milano pre-snap and how he's able to garner the attention of the guards and the center pre-snap, and it becomes a five-man protection. So it's 5 1-on-1s. You can overload, let's say, the left side of the line and load Vaughn, and put Vaughn on the right side of the line. Bring Matt Milano up. He can bluff and still get into coverage because he plays with a Luke Kuechly type sense of urgency.
He's really good at that.
And when he's out of the lineup, there was a big question mark for me is what they're going to be able to hide pre-snap, how they're going to be able to utilize their rushers and one-on-ones. Vaughn still able to get home because he's Vaughn, but I've yet to see if Milano out is
and the sideline to sideline stuff. The Jets stretched them. They were trying to get on the edges all game long, and then that last drive they just punched them right in the fucking face. So the Jets did a great job in the run game, mixing it up. They had a good game plan. They stuck with it. And out of the half, I don't know what happens here if this doesn't happen. Maybe the Bills are in better rhythm, but the Bills don't get the ball for like an hour. So they go to halftime, the Jets come out. They have a long drive. The fucking cameras are going AWOL. Cameras just going ee. People, it's a 10-minute delay, and then Josh finally gets the ball back and throws that terrible pick. He threw them another one too. So Josh is not playing well right now. He knows that. He'd be the 15,000th to tell you.
I love what he said. He said you can't go on the road in the NFL and play against a team with a good quarterback, so he tipped his cap to Zach Wilson and play like shit. At quarterback and expect to win.
Yep, he's real.
That's all you want to hear from your quarterback.
He's real.
A game like that.
All right, let's talk about the opposite
Sunday,
end of that spectrum.
On Sunday, Bills are home for the Vikings. Real quick, you reckon that's 33-13 Buffalo? A get right game.
I think Buffalo gets after them.
Yeah,
and I'd love to see. What's that line?
The weather starts to cool down next week. I think that the weather might be cooling down by Sunday.
3.5.
Nice
4.5.
It's locked right now.
Locked right now. Who do we not know about? I bet that would be Buffalo by
4.5.
No, guys. I think that's a touchdown.
Unless Vegas is playing games and making us afraid to bet Buffalo.
I think it's a touchdown. Locked, you say? Who do we not? Who do we not know about? Did somebody get hurt? Yeah, this says 7.5.
7.5.
Elijah Vera Tucker out for the Jets, and they were still able to protect well. I got to give a shout out. I'll Google it and I'll give a shout out to the right tackle in a second. But he held up in protection.
Got it.
Which was the big question mark coming into the game.
With you guys, it's not even about having your name heard. You guys just want to get the job
right
done.
tackle.
So, right tackle.
Great job.
Good job.
There was a Mike Remmers and Nate Herbig.
Oh, Remmers, our guy. Herbig, former Eagle.
They were both on the right side yesterday, apparently.
Some combination of those guys did a nice job.
Mm-hmm.
So
Remmer's got an interesting set.
Remmers
Herbig-
has a great set.
Herbig was the
her-
guy who was giving Garrett Wilson shit after Garrett did a couple pumps and then rolled the ball like a bowling ball on the
He
field.
slipped. The ball slipped out of his hands. That's the only wrong he could do. Stop fucking up receivers' perfect days. Amari Cooper throwing an atrocious pick. Garrett Wilson fumbling the ball. Looks like he had grease all over that motherfucker. Okay, we talk about quarterbacks who after the game stand at the podium and stand tall. Let's move on to another quarterback that stands tall every time after a loss, in Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay Packers, they're on the DNB list now. They blew up. They blew up my Sunday. My Sunday wasn't awful, but it wasn't great because of the fucking Packers. I mean, multiple teasers, parlays, a bunch of people's parlays got just set on fire because of these guys. And if you had the over as a gambler, sidebar here, I know some of you guys complain that we talk about gambling. Look around. There's a fucking giant, FanDuel sign on every billboard. The win dominates the signage on this pod. Gambling is part of the fabric of America. The win, actually, I want to add the win.
America's teams.
The win to America's teams because I'm going there this weekend.
Oh.
And I'll be at the buffet, the Win Buffet. Do you want to go, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You really do?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The Win Buffet staff, America's teams. This game was supposed to go over. Detroit gets inside the 20 in 2.5 minutes. Okay, because I was watching the other games initially, and I was like, this is going to be one of those games. The total's just going to climb early.
DeAndre Swift.
It's going to be, they're getting Swift back. They're healthy. It's just going to be a shootout.
Bakhtiari out in the flat.
And I'm like, look at it. Bakhtiari in the
Stop.
flat.
Save it.
Yeah,
Hold on.
yeah.
I get it's
Detroit
coming.
inside the 20 in 2.5 minutes. Green Bay inside the 5 under 5 after a 13-play drive. So that's when he threw that pick in traffic to Joseph. And then Smith and Gary drop a sure pick backed up. Like, this game should be 14-7, 21-0, 14-0, something. I mean, then Green Bay's got the ball in the 45 immediately. Lazard to the inch line, and the calls not just, and that's why you tackle guys at the goal line. So return to the 45, Lazard to the inch line, and the calls here were terrible. Okay, the first pick to Joseph, it's just too nonchalant. It's like he just kind of like, and he throws a lot of balls off his back foot and stuff, and he's made a living off making spectacular throws off his back foot. But in the low red, like this ball is it's eye level. There's a whole crowd of fucking people. Just I mean, it's bad placement, and it's too hard. And then they get down there again, and the calls were terrible. You go Dylan, you throw a fucking fade to Sammy Watkins. Sammy Watkins was shocked that was called. Like, fade in general, unless you have a dynamic guy, don't throw the fade. And then third down, 71 whiffs, and then the fourth down, you'd get fancy and you'd throw the ball to Bakhtiari. A throwback to Bakhtiari.
My
got
big
halfway
complaint is the first and goal. I know you were talking about the throw, but it doesn't have to be a throw. You got to give that thing. It's first and goal. You have a guy like A.J. Dillon in the building. You drafted him from Boston College because of his power to run the football.
I think they handed it off to Dylan.
But no, you need to hand it to him 2 times, 3 times,
Yeah,
or
2,
get
3
Aaron
times,
Jones
yeah.
the ball.
Yeah.
Because I want to go back to the first drive.
Yeah.
And when you're watching the first drive of this Packers game, this is the Packers offense that we've grew up watching, hating, loving, appreciating. They threw it multiple ways. They ran it multiple ways with multiple schemes, ball carriers. Aaron Jones' involvement earlier had me thinking, oh my God, this is the key to it. Get Aaron Jones the ball. Let him stretch the defense. Dobbs was big early. And then
Both hurt by the end of the game.
and then the interception was just like, you get the ball all the way down there, you look like an absolute samurai going down the field as an offense, and then you turn the ball over, hand it off, don't get fancy, don't get cute. And then the David Bakhtiari one, Bakhtiari was open, it was drawn up
it was
the
a
right
bad
way,
throw.
it was done the right way. That's just a bad throw. That's just careless. That's because he hasn't practiced that a million times like he has the deep overs and the slants.
More than anything, I don't know. I'm starting to have a problem with the way that listen, you can't tell me you can't figure it out. You can't tell me you can't score more than they're scoring right now. Like, I know there's no separation. And to be fair to Aaron Rodgers, like, when you have to throw tight window balls all day long, eventually it gets in your head. When people drop footballs, when young guys are fucking up, eventually it gets in your head. And, like, there is some truth to, hey, guys, pick it up around me. But you can't let all that affect you when it's a money down in the red zone, or the Kirby Joseph pick. He's mad at Bob Tunyon. He's like, come on, Bob. And I wonder if Bob was supposed to break that off differently. But chances are, you can't blame this on anybody else. And he didn't blame it on anybody else, although he did say, and this was the one like Rodgers-ism that he slipped into the post game. He was like, I don't want to lead the team in rushing, but I guess that sort of thing. The red zone stuff was bad. The Kirby Joseph underthrow, the one that Kirby Joseph came up with one hand, he underthrew that ball. That's a touchdown.
Pass.
Yeah, it's a touchdown. This is on him. Now, Rodgers, there was good Rodgers too. Rodgers sometimes looks like a wizard right now. He looks like Rodgers.
Yes.
So my thing is, he's not washed. He's still Aaron Rodgers.
At all.
He's still fucking the balls to, the 3rd and 17. He can still run. He climbed the pocket. He hit Tunyon. Some of those balls he put on Alan Lazard were beautiful, in stride, back shoulder stuff. So this guy can still drop fucking dimes. It's just, can he keep the focus long enough?
The margins
It takes so much focus. Yeah, the margins are so thin. It takes so much focus to be Aaron Rodgers right now. And if he is truly one of the greatest of all time, I am evaluating him on when he finally gets into the red zone and has an opportunity to make, you got to make these throws, man.
That David Bakhtiari throwback, I love the call. I love the way they drew it up, and I love the guy they have going to catch the ball, because who's better friends than David Bakhtiari and Aaron Rodgers? And who needs a bigger play and a more creative play than the Packers?
Evidently no one.
If they throw it to David Bakhtiari and he scores a touchdown, we could be looking at a season-turning play. We could be looking at a new energy in there.
Yeah.
Like we talked about, after the first drive and seeing what they can do offensively.
Yeah. I think that the ending is the thing that frustrates me the most. I'm starting to have a problem with the way that these games are called for Green Bay. What you doing? I don't know. You get in there, you go 4th and 2 to Torrey, which is a beautiful ball, right? And Torrey finds a way to almost fuck it up. So Rodgers is like, God damn it! And maybe that's why they took 4 shots at the end zone from the 17 with two timeouts left. Maybe you're just the longer we're on the field, the more chance we have to fuck this up. But run your offense, man. It just felt like, damn, we're just going to take 4 shots at the end zone or 3 shots at the end zone or whatever it is. You're down there, you just score a touchdown. You have plenty of time.
Play a little small ball.
Play some small ball, because that's kind of what you got to major in right now.
Don't play for bunts. Play for singles.
Anyways, I'm just frustrated with the Packers. And I don't even care about the Packers.
The
they just lost their money.
Brissett-led Browns have scored 50 more points than the Packers in one less game.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It also goes to show that there's 10 other players on the field.
Exactly. And that's what we're learning more than anything this year.
Jacoby's got some good ones.
That's what we're learning more than anything this year.
Yeah.
There's a lot of quarterbacks that, they don't have help around them, and it doesn't look the same.
And let's do a little exercise. It's going to make that point, drive it home a little more. So quarterback 1 has 14 passing touchdowns, 7 interceptions, an 89 rating, and 2,091 yards. Quarterback B, 14 passing touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 91.8 passer rating, and 2,041 yards. Nearly identical. Can you name both those quarterbacks?
Fuck no.
It's like Justin Herbert and somebody else that sucks.
It's Aaron Rodgers and Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Huh.
So at the beginning of the season, you'd be very surprised to see Aaron Rodgers and Jared Goff in the same.
But here's the deal. Here's the deal. Jared Goff just yesterday, they trade away Hawkinson, 2 young tight ends to get catches for touchdowns. Their offensive line's better for sure. You have Amon-Ra St. Brown. You've got good backs, but is the delta between Detroit's talent level and Green Bay's talent level that much different? So eventually, and I'm not going to be gaslit by statistics or what I see this year, Aaron Rodgers is one of the best quarterbacks to ever play a game.
Yeah.
He's still that guy.
Yeah.
He's still that guy.
People have nightmares.
He's not playing his best ball because the margins are so fucking thin, and I am counting that against him. But you can't tell me that the Detroit Lions are that much more talented or better offensively. So that tells me there's a problem with the way you're calling these games. You got to figure it out. Figure it out, man. Dobbs is carted off. Watson got hurt in this game, right? Watson got hurt. Rashawn Gary's hurt. I hate that. He's having such a great year.
That's a huge
This team's
impact.
done. The team's been done, but it's done. This team's done for sure. And I was wrong. I thought they'd figure this out.
Rashawn Gary isn't just a guy that's on the defense. He's a guy that adds teeth to the defense because of his explosive nature. I'm serious.
Yeah.
When you're playing against a guy like that, there's no missteps.
Yeah.
He's going to make you pay for missteps. So
Yeah,
when they don't have a guy like that, it adds to the theme here.
Yep. He was the guy that, like, to me, picked up some of Zadarius Smith's slack.
Boy, Zadarius Smith.
He's a dog.
What a beast.
Okay, all right. So what? Green Bay's done.
Cowboys, Titans, Eagles coming up for Green Bay.
Whew. Micah Parsons
What a shit show.
Micah Parsons going to have Aaron Rodgers looking like that meme again where he's
Yeah.
on
With
his
his helmet
side.
smashed.
Yeah. So where do we want to go next, guys?
How about Chicago, Miami?
How about it,
How
dude?
about
What a
them?
fucking game. And you knew going in it was going to be. Remember, I balked at the over. I was like, man, I want to bet the over, but it climbed to 47.
Oof. They smashed that.
It would have been so easy, dude. This was so fun. First off, the Dolphins' offense it's automatic. Look at some of the separation. These guys are incredible, and you can't keep, like, you have to go for it. You have to chase touchdowns. You can't lay up. You can't punt. Like, they put pressure on teams. But Justin Fields to me is the story. And hey, Miami fans, I'll get to Tua in a second. He played a really nice game until the end. But Justin Fields is a story for me. Justin Fields he's growing up before our very eyes the last 3-4 weeks. And I want to give a lot of credit to Luke Getsy, dude. And when you look at Chase Claypool, one of the things I saw early in this game is, they targeted him a bunch early, and then there was a long drought between his fourth target and the fifth, because it came in the end of the third quarter, and then the missed PI at the end of the game as well. That was target number 6.
Jiu-jitsu'd.
He got mugged, but they were getting smokes out to him early in the game, like box count type stuff. He's going to do some of what Devontae Adams, and don't laugh, but like, it's the run game. It's you already have David Montgomery. They can throw. Last week they ran like 17 toss plays. I think they lead the league in toss plays, just one Sunday against Dallas. They also run a lot of design QB runs, which is awesome. It seems like they've embraced the fact that, yeah, you've got a guy who can take it 61 yards to the house. Why are we not just leaning on this cat? And people that are worried about him getting hit, Kyle, how many times you see him take a hard hit yesterday?
Not many. He's
Not
a
a
baseball guy. He's going away from contact in the open field. He knows how to slide.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? There's a
Yep.
difference between a guy who's trying to figure out how to get down and a
Then
guy
why can't Russell Wilson
who has
slide?
a plan. I don't know, because I think he just
He's a
wants to get
baseball
more
player.
yards.
Yeah. But he's growing up before our eyes, and I'd like to look back at like Josh Allen, and I'm not comparing the two, but when was it that was there a moment in time where Josh just started playing great? Because this guy's got tools, and when you judge a quarterback, the reason he gets me so excited is because his ceiling's so high. You just look at this guy and you're like, who else can tuck the ball and run 20 miles per hour? If he was in a school zone, I would tell him to slow the fuck down.
Yeah.
If it
Kids here.
If it was Halloween, I would run his car down and tell him to slow the fuck down, dude. He was flying, man. So who else can do that?
And he hit the pump. So he gets to the
There's
top
two
of the
players.
pocket. So I'm talking about this. We have it keyed up here, Chris.
Yeah.
So we've got Bears in enemy territory, or in their own 35. Justin Fields steps up in the pocket, pump fakes the linebacker. He's weaving in and out of traffic like a slalom race. Not often do you see a quarterback actually
love
break
slalom
away,
races.
Chris. Look, pump, yeet. It looks like Madden. When you're
Yeah.
playing Madden, you come up, you tap circle, so you don't throw it there, but you pump it. Justin Fields. I mean, he's outrunning everybody.
He's scary. It's scary because his stride's long, and like he'll pick up that when he gets to the line of scrimmage. When we talked about, I don't remember who it was the other day. It was fucking the running back from the Jets that got hurt. We
Breece
all
Hall.
love him. Breece Hall. Breece Hall. He's got like changes of gears. There was a play in that last game where he changed speeds like 4 times. Justin Fields got a few different speeds, and when he kicks it into high gear, those strides are too long, man.
And who's out in front blocking for him is his buddy who's been there since the shit started.
Yeah.
It's Darnell Mooney,
Good for him.
who had a great catch on a beautiful ball, back shoulder, that he had to rotate in the back left of the end zone. Darnell Mooney, shout out to you. Everybody's been saying you're not the Bears don't have receivers. You're not a premier guy. Just keep your head down. Keep being Justin Fields guy, and this tandem is going to be so much fun to watch for years to come in Chicago.
No, I mean like more like Darnell Sonny because the future looks bright.
And Cole Kmet too. Hey, how about our guy Cole Kmet, Chris?
I hope. Yeah, Kmet was balling.
Beautiful.
They're running all types of crazy jet sweep type shit.
They led block with him with design QB run a few weeks ago, and we talked about it on the show.
Yeah.
And now they're starting to implement the pass off of some of what they're doing. Like you said, shout out to Luke Getsy. I called you out earlier. A lot of people did, and you've been awesome. And the offense is so much fun. The Bears haven't had a big scoring offense.
No one calls out Luke Getsy, bro.
The offense
we stand for Luke Getsy.
The offense has not been this explosive in a very long time, and it's fun to watch.
You get a little FOMO looking at this.
Oh my God, it looks fun, man.
All right, here. You chomping at the bit to play football?
No, not at all.
Hey, Kyle, Sean McVay here.
Not at all. I'll hold a pad. I'll hold a pad. Come help the O-line.
Kicking the tires on you, Kyle. All right, so anyways, like Tua, what he does a really good job of, and I want to pinpoint a throw early in the game in the second quarter, I think it was, or maybe it was the second touchdown drive. There was a play where Tyreek's got to turn back to catch the ball, but he's throwing him open in his zone. Like, that's what Tua does really well. So you understand me perfectly. Like, that is his fucking honey hole. The intermediate stuff, beautiful. You know, there's a sorry lady in our mentions under a green light account, but there's, you know, the ball Tyreek before the half, he doesn't have to slow down. They score. Okay, like little things. They miss a field goal.
We'll be the first
there's
to
a
tell
few
you.
points here. They'll be the first to tell you. And then obviously he knows he's got to hit those throws. Tua knows he's got to hit that throw. The Smythe miss was just like he doesn't do that often. You know, like that's and I agree with Dolphins fans a little bit in one regard. Is like the offense is firing at all cylinders. I'm not going to pile on after the 3rd and 11 where he underthrew Jalen Waddle or the Smythe miss. He played a really, really good game. And if it's not for him distributing the ball to these playmakers, they don't have 35 points.
The Bears win.
But if you're Justin Fields, you got to feel good about the Bears' offense outscored the Miami's offense. Isn't that something?
Miami had a punt block.
With Mooney and Kmet and a newly acquired Chase Claypool and
Getting
that
the ball
offensive
in a
line.
multitude of ways.
Hey,
So good signs for
here's ESPN featuring Claypool right before the game.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a tough lot.
That's
Look
bad.
at Chase Claypool
It's the wind.
dropping
It's
one
the
off.
wind.
But that was another thing. I didn't bet the over because there was a 17-mile-per-hour wind. Maybe there was a 17-mile-per-hour wind when Tua tried to throw that ball to Jalen Waddle. It did hang up there in the air a while.
The analyst, whoever's broadcasting that game, the analyst said they asked him during the week, "Hey Tua, have you ever overthrown Tyreek in practice?"
Yeah.
And knowing nothing, I'm like, damn, how should you answer that?
Yeah.
And Tua said to the guy, once maybe, I think, which I thought, that's a good way to play that.
Uh-huh.
Like, yes, I'm capable of doing it.
I can do it.
But no, the receiver's really fast and really good, and he gets there.
Maybe a little early for a
once.
victory lap at the podium though on the deep balls.
While on that topic of at the podium, a little too early for victory laps last week. If you're so good at deep balls, and
Okay,
like
Kyle,
Chris said,
I don't want to go down this road because the chick's gonna pepper our mentions.
Okay, I won't.
But
if you're so good at deep balls, don't say, "How about that deep ball?"
Okay, yeah, you got it. Yeah. It's like me being like, "How about Thursday Night Time Machine?"
Show, don't
Walter
tell.
Payton
Okay.
said, "If you're good,
No. Kyle,
you'll tell everybody."
To be
If you're
fair, though-
great, people will tell you.
to be fair though, I am happy Tua's confident right now.
I love watching Tua.
Well, Kyle, I'm just talking about his confidence. I mean, and he should be confident. They got a bunch of fucking playmakers, and McDaniel is a fucking menace, dude. He's a menace. So the defense has to play better. And on that note, Jeff Wilson, good addition. So
Huge.
another good addition to this offense. And then Ingram stepping up big on 1st and 10 at the 44 with 4 minutes to go. Chicago's been moving the ball here. They're down 3. I think at this point they're going to win the game. Ingram runs right through the left tackle. And this is a guy that you bring in a new guy, right? To do what you do, right? Like rush the passer, Bradley Chubb. And it's not said explicitly, but it's like we don't have enough. We need to invest in this. And Ingram, who's made a lot of clutch plays for them and seems to be that vet who makes timely plays, makes another one and sacks Justin Fields and puts him behind the sticks. I can't say enough about this guy. I mean, the yields on him late in his career.
He's a glue guy too. And when the Bradley Chubb acquisition was made, I knew it was going to work out well, and I know he's going to do great in that room because Melvin will make it so.
He will make it so. But to a really nice game until the end of that ball game, and he'll make those throws next time. I believe he will. It's the other stuff that concerns me, not that stuff.
Justin Fields runs out of bounds, first down, and he's on the Dolphins bench, and Mike McDaniels goes, "Hey, stop it! Cut it out."
Did he really?
Yeah. He's like, "Stop it!"
That's funny.
Like, and Justin, you can see Justin laugh. He's like,
Hey, everybody
why I
out
like
there
Mike.
talking about Jeff Wilson knowing the Niner system and conveniently ignoring that Mostert was there for 6 frickin' years. Nobody talks about Mostert
I know.
being in San Francisco for
I thought they
previous
talked
6
about
years.
him a lot.
Okay, I hadn't heard it
Super
yet.
Bowl.
I heard a lot of Jeff Wilson knows the McDaniel outside
Well, they did
zone
that with
system.
Mostert probably early in the season.
I
It's a
reckon.
quick turnaround for Jeff Wilson.
Yeah. Okay.
He knows all the terminology.
Rams Bucks, and then we'll get to the big Sunday night game that Kyle's probably chomping at the bit to talk about because Mahomie was just.
I like
Hey,
talking about.
I mean, you can't. Fuck it. We'll do it live. Let's
it's like
do it
being
now.
a Lakers fan.
Let's do it now,
Rams,
Kyle.
Bucks.
The Patrick Mahomes. I mean, they scored what 20 points.
It was
Yep.
19 to
2017, like every other game this
You know,
week.
20 points, and you're like,
No, hold on. It was 19 to.
Why do you keep saying 19, Kyle?
No, it wasn't 19. They were down 8 points. They tied the game. They went to overtime.
yeah, they were down
won.
17-9. They tied
do
it
the
up.
math.
They won
I'm not
20.
good at
I
it.
know, Kyle, because I had Kansas City in a teaser -3. I had Kansas City live line -3.5. And fucking Mahomes, the only thing he did bad yesterday for me was miss Nicole Hardman on third. Now, to be fair, they faced the 4th and 10 in overtime. So, but just score. Can we score? Okay.
Nicole became like your hole because you were in a hole. Your hole, Hardman.
Pause.
Workshop.
I'll keep working on that. Yeah.
Chris, I will say this: the Titans last year beat the Chiefs on the road, and they got out. The Chiefs got out physical up front.
Yeah.
And I remember being in that room, and they didn't want to feel that way again. And they got an opportunity to play against the team last night. And at times in the game,
They got out physical
Tennessee-
again.
That way again.
I started being like, guys, come on here. We got an opportunity to double team Jeffrey Simmons. We
Yeah.
can't be leaving for the linebacker early.
Yeah.
Take care of the down guys. The Titans, they were generating a lot of rush with their front four. It wasn't like they needed to bring anything crazy. Kevin Byard was in the ear hole of Travis Kelce most of the night.
That's also how the Jets kept it close.
But at the-
they don't
but-
have to
but
bring
at the end
pressure.
of
You
the
know,
game-
when you can rush 4 on these really great quarterbacks, that's the way to be.
The end of the game, great players do great things. Patrick took the game into his own hands, scrambling. He never looks like he's running in a straight line. He never looks like, the TikTok or the Instagram trend where they're like, don't ever let them know your next move, and they're just doing random shit the whole time.
I'm not on TikTok.
Well, there's
though.
a trend, and that's kind of how Patrick Mahomes runs. When
Yeah.
he runs, he's looking around, his hips are going, his
Yeah, his
legs
hips
are
are going in different directions.
He's got a little Kyler Murray in the open field to him,
like a slowed
like
down
a teetering,
giant
like
Kyler
a teetering
Murray.
little.
Like a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man version of Kyler Murray.
He is quick. He's quicker than he is fast, and he took over the game when it mattered most for the Chiefs. And those are back-breaking plays for the Titans.
Here's the deal. He's just got great vision. Some people see the field, man. Not only has he got a fucking RPG on his shoulder, but
Noah Gray, massive catch
yeah.
down the stretch.
Yep.
When Travis was on the sideline for a breather, Noah Gray comes in, makes a huge catch over the top, bobbled and caught it.
Hey, here's a number from 27-3 last year. A.J. Brown had 8 for 133 for the Titans.
no receivers catching the football.
And that was missing last night, as was Ryan Tannehill. But are we at all concerned that it's a 3-point overtime win when Malik Willis is
It's very
5 for 16?
concerning. It's very concerning for anybody who has to play the Titans because the Chiefs just played them and they beat them.
Right, exactly. And that's the whole thing is like
Moving
you
forward,
knew-
you're not going to play Derrick Henry again.
Yeah, it's a very well. You're gonna have to play Mike Vrabel again. I just want to say this: Mike Vrabel is a fucking menace. He is. I mean, like I would love to have a coffee table book of all his most menacing moments as a head coach. Whether it's fucking with Bill Belichick on the clock, whether it's beating up on Buffalo during the pandemic on like a short week. It was like. Or whether it's that game last night, just muddying it up. He's the king of muddying it up. They get down 9-0 on the road. You should be up 10-0. Thank you very much, Butker. If you make your kicks,
Butker.
my family doesn't have to. My kids don't have to get fucking scholarships.
Butker, that might be a problem.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Might be a problem.
It's a problem. It's a problem enough that they didn't want to kick the ball at the end of the game. Well, they had the ball, so never mind. But Butker was a problem. Okay, so they get down 9-10 nothing. That's not on the script for the
great
Titans.
smile, though.
How do you think that the Titans are going to be up in this ball game? It's amazing. Like as soon as they hit that tight end screen and a guy I'd never heard of ran for. Oh, how about last year? Everybody's hurt. And Dante Foreman runs for like 300 yards on the Patriots, bro. Like Vrabel he's hard. This team's hard to kill, man.
Okonkwo, that guy was tackled 3 times, just kept running.
He just kept running, bro. I was screaming at the TV. No. They came to play. No.
I was watching the game and they were talking about Mike Vrabel's resume as a player. They were like, he's won a Super Bowl, he's caught a touchdown in a Super Bowl, he's got sacks in the playoffs, he's a Pro Bowl or whatever. They were going through his resume and it was just fucking crazy to me. I've never had a coach who had that kind of anywhere near that kind of a resume. I can only imagine what playing on that team is like, and you can see it. It's like visually pleasing to watch a team that's coached by an absolute
Is that a shot
alpha.
at John Fox?
What about Trestman?
No, well, Mike Vrabel just stands out in the crowd to me.
Is this shot at Trestman? Trestman never.
Sure, Mark Trestman, Mike Vrabel.
Hey, look, this is my notes on Kansas City, Tennessee.
KC, Tennessee, Vrabel.
Is it Vrabel?
Patrick Mahomes.
No, you motherfucker. That's an A.
Oh, that's a funky Apple font. Let me look at that again.
You're just. It's Vrabel.
Would have been funnier
in the
if
name.
it was Vrabel.
So
wouldn't it?
yeah, it would have been funnier.
Yeah.
But here's another thing. These teams are exhausted. Okay, Kansas City ran 91 plays offensively. This front is exhausted. They were rushing all night. That's a 5 a.m. Back to the facility. It's a 6 a.m. back to the facility after 91 plays on defense. And I would give them worse flight if they weren't so. They shouldn't be so damn proud of themselves. If there's ever a loss that you should say, like, hey, guys, we found out about ourselves in a good way. Like, this is the one.
And our cousin David Long balled out, too.
David Long. Mm-hmm. Hey, daylight savings made this effectively the latest feeling game of all time, probably.
Yep.
These guys find themselves in overtime at effectively 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
2 days ago, 1:30 a.m.
Like, that's usually people are asleep.
Yes. Well, yeah.
So it's crazy, man. And Mahomes is a wizard.
43 completions, 68 attempts. My God, I'm so glad I'm not on the Chiefs right now because pass blocking 68 times just gives me nightmares.
Gives me the
But the
pass
ball was out
rushing
quick.
58 times.
The ball was out quick. There was a stat up last night about balls that are coming out in under 2.5 seconds, and they were showing the cut ups, and it's true. It's just like you catch the ball, you throw the ball. Somebody's open, somebody's going to catch
I kind of wonder this about their time to throw, because we'll get to the Bucs in a second, and they did a good job of getting the ball out. Like Tom, he had no choice. But if the averages come out to like a low snap to release, he's holding on to the ball on some of these shots.
Just goes to show how quick the other balls are coming out.
Exactly.
Because he does have those times where he's pirouette. Sometimes he runs right into a hug.
And he took some sacks.
He runs right into a hug.
Yeah. He took some sacks. So big win for Kansas City. I don't feel like I learned anything bad about Kansas City. We know their offense has been hot and cold.
Well, they can't run the ball.
They've been hot and cold
because running back.
It's because they can't run the ball.
Yep.
And they're going to have to get creative to win games. And it makes me wonder, like, somebody dead or alive, Ronald Jones.
Alive.
Dead or alive, James Earl Jones.
Tavon Austin.
Seriously.
Alive.
No, that's a good one. I'm going to say, I haven't heard from him in a while, that James Earl Jones. I'm going to say alive.
Dead.
What are you saying, Chris?
I know he's alive because it came up this weekend.
He was on the pod last
He's
week.
alive. Yeah, you missed that. Okay, so Tom Brady, alive or dead? He's alive.
Alive.
He's very much alive.
That's fucking awesome.
Tom Brady, yeah, dude. You know what? Good for him. It's funny. We're watching two quarterbacks die a slow death right now, right? And I'm not saying they're done. This year they are.
They're on
right?
the back nine.
The Bucs, and by the way, the Bucs season under win total is about to cash like next week. Bo Allen's FaceTiming me. I got to work right now, Bo. I think Tom showed a lot of grace, man. I just want to say this. Reverse the roles. Carly Lloyd, she's 38 or whatever. She's on the Olympic soccer team, or she's on the U.S. women's team. and her husband says, "Stop playing soccer or I'm divorcing you." How does that go in the court of public opinion for the husband?
Not too good.
Yeah. So I feel for Tom. I really do. I know there's more to, I don't want to get into his personal life, but like,
That's
Tom's
what it
just
should be, his personal life,
Tom's
right?
doing what he loves. And like, we have kind of vilified Tom for not giving it up. Like, play until you can't do what you did in the last couple of minutes of that game. Because what he did in the last couple of minutes of that game was pretty cool. I mean, the first drive down to the red zone, Scotty Miller drops the ball that should put him up. They have a 5% chance of winning that football game. I think McVay running the ball on 3rd and 5, backed up, was the worst call of the game. The worst call of the game. Besides Todd Bowles not challenging that punt that clearly didn't go in the end zone, that almost hurt him. But I want to go to this call.
Darrell Henderson up the middle for 1 yard.
Darrell Henderson up the middle for 1 yard. And that defense, that Bucs defense was playing their asses off. The rushers, Vita Vea, Shoyinka. How am I saying his name?
Just go with Tryon.
Yeah, Joe Tryon.
Yeah.
It must be tough because you're copping out of a name.
I'm going to try it. Yeah, Tryon.
Guys, did you know that 100,000 passing yards is nearly 57 miles?
I read your
read
tweet.
that
It was
in your
incredible.
tweet.
Also,
Yeah.
did you know that Tom Brady now has 55 game-winning drives, passes Peyton Manning all time?
I didn't.
And he tied Peyton Manning with 43 fourth-quarter comebacks yesterday. So kind of an interesting Peyton Manning-Tom Brady dynamic.
Did you know that when you have no timeouts in a 10-6 football game, or whatever the fuck it was 13-9 at this point?
Man, they fucked me up.
13-9.
No timeouts on 3rd and 5. Bucks have no timeouts. So there's, 90 seconds to go in this game? Less? If you get a first down, this game's over.
Minute 39.
Okay? Not to mention, if they score a touchdown up 10-6, this game's probably over.
First down, get down.
So, the Rams have a bunch of chances to win this game. The Rams are not a relevant team the rest of the way. The Bucs really aren't a relevant team, if not for the fact that their division's so dog shit. So they could get some people back, I guess, but I don't see it. I don't see it. But what Tom Brady did, that drive was vintage Brady. He's got under a minute, down the seam, big chunk, and then picks them apart on the sideline. And you get the Mike Evans PI.
Why were they playing so far off?
And giving them the sideline.
Why were they playing so far off?
Anybody's guess.
That's
what
the
they
only
were doing in
defense
this
I can
game.
have success against in Madden. When you're playing off and soft is what they call it in defensive rooms.
Off and soft.
Off and soft. And you give up the sidelines. And that's what they took advantage of.
The Bucs
soft as cotton.
Okay.
Kate Otten.
Yeah. So okay.
Touchdown.
More like you're still reeling from my really good more like earlier. You want to get one on the board.
Yeah, what'd you say?
I forget.
Yeah, it wasn't
Moody,
that long.
Moody, Sonny.
Yeah, Sonny. More like
Oh,
Sonny 'cause
Darnell Sonny.
Darnell Sonny. Okay. I hope he sticks around for when the Bears are really like legitimate. And the Bears might be legitimately decent right now. Okay.
They have $150 million in cap space. They have the most cap space in the
Kyle,
NFL.
it's going to be fun as fuck.
It's going to be so much fun to be a Bears fan for
It's
the
going to
next
be
10
so much
years.
fun. I'm going to go to Chicago and people they're going to be like, "Hey, Kyle," because they get us mixed up all the time inexplicably. And then I'm going to be like, "Yeah, it's me," because I want to be a part of the whole thing, dude. I'm going to act like I played for the Bears. Okay, so 1 of 30 on 3rd and 10 or longer at one point. I heard the announcer saying this ball game for the Bucs. So
My God.
It's just bad. It's just bad. And Akers finally got some burn. Akers was in the game for a couple of 3-yard handoffs. What a difference a year makes for these teams. Right, think about the January playoff game. It was kind of ugly, but these teams were good,
What
man.
happens when you go to the crossroads to sell your soul to the devil? So things like this happen in the football world.
Fuck it, that's layup line, Crossroads, Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Nice.
I was
Okay.
thinking more
We are at a crossroads right now in the show.
Clapton.
We are we're on to our one-word games, our best of the rest. Okay, so
Cincy versus Carolina, my one word is, there we go.
Cincy, Carolina. Mine was careful. Careful. 0-3 against the AFC North for Cincy.
Oh, yeah.
They looked great.
yeah.
And you see him last week without Chase, and it didn't look so great. And this time they carve up, slice and dice the Panthers.
Joe Mixon.
Wasn't as close as 42-21, but careful. All right.
My word is ambivalence.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on.
Because I didn't have one.
I guess you didn't bet this game.
Yeah, no. Yeah. But not, well, I did. I stared at the fucking line for a while because I was like, I look like Jeff Bridges.gif, Big Lebowski, like
Yeah.
Cincy laying a touchdown, as bad as they played last week and the way Carolina's been, but this is why, dude. They torched them. And yeah, the Bengals, they haven't really beaten good teams.
Yep.
And they haven't torched good secondaries, and they haven't. So,
But they haven't run the ball till yesterday, though.
And you know what?
Five
You're going to
TDs.
notice. You're going to notice. I'm not going to have a bunch of psychotic Bengals fans in my mentions because they're realistic.
Oh,
people.
high ends football people.
They're realistic.
They
people.
get it.
They know ball.
TJ, 9 targets, 9 catches, 70 yards, I believe it was. They haven't had a tight end go over 42 yards this year.
All right, 1. O-N-E.
Yeah.
As in one score. Vikes have beaten the Lions by 4, the Saints by 3, the Bears by 7, the Dolphins by 8, the Cardinals by 8. Now
It's the
Commanders
NFL
by
making
3.
their winners.
Well, that's interesting, though. Maybe the word should be 7 as in wins. 7 wins. But we just saw it. They're 7.5-point dogs next week at Buffalo, despite being 7-1. It's just a lot of average football teams this year in this league.
Vikings have a new layer, man.
I got one. Scram. That's what I'm scram. I'm saying that to the referee.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck that guy.
Do you know how yeah, he was on the Vikings and that ref nearly cost you the game. That's how badly
He did cost
That's
me
how
because only won by 3.
that's what a poor
Curtis Samuel touchdown, yeah.
That's what a poor decision that throw was from Heineke. There were so many Vikings that the ref could not find a place where there was not a Viking. Like the ref was like, "Oh fuck, man, he's in. Oh my god, it's triple coverage." Like he turned around and just levels the guy who's about to pick the ball up. So if I'm a Vikings fan, I'm really pissed. I'm pissed about not being in the power rankings in the top 7 here. But we do look at the schedule. And you're a good football team. Vikings are a good football team. No questions asked. Like I think they're tough. And this guy, the new head coach, has done a really good job. O'Connell's done a really good job. Probably your favorite O'Connell.
I got a lot of O'Connells I like.
Wait, no, it's Kevin O'Connor.
No, it's Kevin O'Connell.
You don't like that guy.
Brian O'Connor.
Brian O'Connell.
Brian O'Connell.
Yeah.
Brian O'Connell.
College basketball
Yeah,
official.
yeah.
Yeah, blind as a bat.
Yeah.
With an axe to grind.
Yeah. We were at the fucking Elite 8.
Yeah.
And Macon's we're sitting next to each
Sweet
other.
16, yeah.
Yeah, whatever the fuck it was. Yeah, well, I'm glad you remember. Congratulations.
Well, it was your birthday, so we were like
Yeah.
4 or 5 tequilas in
Yeah.
That's in March.
for the game.
Yeah, and he's in MSG screaming at
Brian O'Connell.
Brian O'Connell.
Tevin was fouled.
Like it's quiet. Brian O'Connell. I'm sitting next to this psycho.
I picked Jacksonville. I'm glad they won. Glad.
That's a good one. Mine's fired, as in you're fired, Josh McDaniels. Jesus Christ, man. You're up 17-0. I was on Vegas.
Yeah.
And if you can't win that game, you're meant to be an offensive coordinator in this league. It'll be the year 2062. Josh will be going back to New England to be Bill's offensive coordinator, and we'll just continue this cycle. You're 13-23 as a head coach, and it's because you can't hold on to leads like 17-0 against a Jacksonville team that's reeling. You finally had Carr and Devontae Adams rolling.
Josh McDaniels is giving me Adam Gase.
Josh McDaniels is not doing much for the Irish coaches of America. McDaniel is doing a really nice job. McDaniel's not doing so well.
Irishman in plurality, struggling.
Yeah, pretty much.
That extra S on there
Yeah.
stands for
It's all
shitty.
Yeah,
That's why Mike McCarthy is doing so well.
yeah. There's only one Mike McDaniel.
Yeah.
All right, one of one. Okay, so I don't have a word for this game.
Perfect. The commitment to this bit is subpar. That could be your word.
I don't have a word in this. This game was like the NFL always needs one of these games on a Sunday. You know, the one that you're like, who's watching that game? You know, like what sadistic fucks were watching that game?
That's Chargers Falcons for me.
No.
Sadistic's a good word. Go with
Yeah,
that.
okay. Yeah, that's good. Sadistic.
My one word for the Chargers versus the Atlanta Falcons is 23, because that's Dicker's 2 game-winning kicks this year from 23 yards on 2 different teams.
Is there a hyphen in 23?
Yeah.
Okay.
There is.
My word is Dicker.
Yeah, mine is also Dicker.
Yeah. Because this kicker, man, he's making his way. He gets around.
And his last name's Dicker.
He gets around, man. He was in Philly making kicks. Now he's in LA. Here's the thing about this game, by the way, great play by Khalil Mack, game-changing play, hustle play, taking the ball off of whoever the fuck it was. We weren't watching that close. No offense, Falcons fans. I'm going to watch this game on like Wednesday when I get a free minute, but there were a lot of options on the menu yesterday. Okay. Mariota had an overthrow that could have won them that game. I mean, they had their chances to win that game. And by the way, Chargers almost chargered it. The Eckler fumble.
Wow.
How about these two teams having a contest to see who can blow the game?
In one play.
In one play, bro.
Yeah.
How about that? Eckler's like, I'll fumble. And then the guy picks it up and runs a long way. And he's like, I'll fumble too. And then the Falcons defense is like, we'll give him a big chunk.
Unreal.
And Chargers like, I'm not willing to miss this kick. That'd be too much commitment to the bit. So, yeah, Dicker.
Pat's Colts. What you got, Kyle?
Didn't.
I'm gonna go. Why do I have phone written down in my notes?
Frank needs to call God.
Yeah, no. Ursay needs to call somebody because I don't know. It's not phone. It's blame. It's who's to blame here and how. No, it's floor. Floor. How low do the Colts have the lowest floor in the league?
Maybe. I don't know. Is it a mandate that Ellinger has to play the entire game? Because at halftime with 3 points, why don't you go to Nick Foles?
Bro, because they're
Is he on the
trying to
active
tank.
roster?
Because they're trying to. Jim Irsay
At 3-4-1? I mean,
here's
shoot.
Okay, let me make a case for this. Okay, I got my little notes here. Okay, we know they've never taken a swing at a quarterback, right? That's the problem. They've kept, and I don't blame. Let's talk about the blame first and foremost. Who are you blaming? Is it Frank Reich? Is it Ballard? Like who's? I think that the blame is shared. Whose fault do you think it is that they're where they are?
I don't know that it's anybody's fault. Matt Ryan looks good to me on paper
Andrew
before
Luck.
the season. Yeah, there you go. Andrew Luck.
If we're gonna blame somebody,
it isn't.
I know he can take it.
And I don't blame him, but think about 2018. They actually draft really well in the first round. They get Quentin Nelson and now it's Shaq Griffin.
Leonard.
Leonard. Sorry,
fuck
Shaq
that
Griffin.
up.
Leonard. He's fucking.
Well, he
it's
asked
awful.
for it.
Well, he's the man. He can, if he wants to change his name, he can do that. So they get Quentin Nelson and Shaq
Leonard.
Barrett. There's a
O'Neal.
whole. There's a whole. Yeah.
Another
So
one Irishman.
2018. That's Luck's last actual year. If they knew that he was done, they picked one pick before Buffalo. Buffalo
Wow.
picked Josh Allen.
Wow.
And then you got Lamar later in that draft. Luck retires in
That
19.
kills me.
Yeah. Had they known, maybe they'd take, and this is interesting, Reed, this is where you come in. Luck retired in 2019. If they knew before the draft, maybe they'd take Drew Lock off y'all's hands because he was the next quarterback taken after Rock Yassin. And in 2020, they dealt their first round pick to San Francisco for Buckner, right? And I might be misremembering this, but, Herbert was there at 6. Maybe you can trade up or something like that. Maybe you don't. So the point I'm making is, as much I want to just blindly blame Ballard for the quarterback stuff, like the Luck thing threw a big wrench in this whole thing. And, I want to blame Frank Reich too, because I just watched a team with Malik Willis throwing the ball 8 times, going to fucking Kansas City and taking those boys to overtime. And the other coach in your division is that coach. He's the one that's making chicken soup. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You picking up what I'm putting down? And like the Colts, You're telling me you can't figure out a way to not go 0 for 14 on third down, to not gain 120 yards on offense, the lowest since like the 90s for them, to not lose 24-0 to the Jags, to not give up 9 sacks to the Broncos and a 12-9 loss or whatever the fuck it was. Now they have the lowest floor in the league quite possibly. And it just, I know they're bad, but it shouldn't be this bad. And the reason it makes sense that they might be tanking is the biggest mistake they made, by the way, was letting Glowinski go. And they got the highest paid offensive line, and this is just not good. But you've got 5 teams with less wins than them right now. Carolina, Houston, Detroit. They're all hunting quarterbacks. So you're not losing fast enough. because there's a big ledge from, Levis, Stroud, Love to, and you might disagree because Tanner McGee might be.
Brendan Armstrong.
Yeah, I know how you like those Pac-12 guys. But there's a big ledge. You know what I mean? And if you're the odd man out in that group, you're going to be right back where you started.
Just give me the guy from USC.
Spinning the wheel on a developmental quarterback or a fucking veteran quarterback, dude. Like Jimmy G will be in Indy next year or something.
Jeez.
And that's not what Colts fans want to see. They want to see you. The one thing they haven't done is commit to tanking. So yeah, my word might be tanking, and you should. I'm not saying you lose on purpose, but
yeah,
decide what you want to do.
That city runs on great quarterbacks.
At 3-5-1, they now at the moment have the 14th pick in the 2023 NFL.
And
more.
And 7 teams are tied for, so there's so many bad teams. If you look at this thing, how many teams? I was looking at this last night. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4 teams with 2 wins. There's one with 1 win, and there's like 17 teams with 3. And a lot of these teams are not hunting quarterbacks. So like the Bears, 3 wins. They're not hunting a quarterback. Arizona, maybe
Probably
they should
not.
be, but not. Jacksonville, probably not. Green Bay.
They just signed Aaron.
But, I would trade him. I don't know why they didn't trade him at the deadline.
Philly, not.
Philly's not. Denver, although never say never with Philly.
Look at these ones. That's where they're headed. Seattle. Who knows?
Detroit's already going to have picked their quarterback, and then Houston's already going to have picked their quarterback. So Indy, they're actually not in a bad spot for being 14. You can get to 3 or 4 pretty quickly. One week you can be at 3 or 4. So I look at Indy and I'm saying, just make up your fucking mind, dude. What you going to be?
And let us know,
They're
because
we
damn near picked the Colts on Friday, plus 5.5.
No.
All right,
Nice.
last one-word game, Arizona, Seattle.
Gino.
Yeah. Frustrating. So frustrating.
That one too?
Arizona.
For the pockets, are they hurting today?
No. It was just a small
kinda.
thing. And more than anything, it's just giving them out on Thursday because the lines stink. I'm not giving out any more stinky lines because the same thing happened last week with Houston and Tennessee.
I know.
It's just Vegas this year has not.
My word's Vegas.
They did it with.
Do they not know, or are they just baiting us?
Remember the Washington thing?
Yes.
When they were baiting us with Washington, and it was nah, it is I, Washington.
Mm-hmm.
They were just Washington.
Yes.
So, I don't know, frustrating. I mean, you re-up Kyler, you re-up Cliff. What's going on here? They're trapped. Maybe that's the word, trapped.
So before we jump into a little story time, we just got news that Frank Reich has been relieved of his duties as the Indianapolis Colts coach. Chris, you just talked about it on the Rich Eisen show.
Yeah.
You can check out Rich. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Rich
Eason.
Is that right?
Yeah, like
Jacob Eason.
Yeah,
Esau.
Rich and Eason.
It's Rich
Yeah.
Eason.
All right, that's what
Rishi
I thought.
Saw.
And what network is he on?
The Rich Eisen network.
Niffle.
Yeah, that's right, exactly.
Okay, that's what I
was
thought.
going.
I just wasn't sure if that was right.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Sirius XM. No,
they'll
he's
be
not on
looking for a
Sirius.
new head coach in Indianapolis.
Yeah. Well, you said relieved of his duties, and that's well put because it is a relief to not coach the damn Colts anymore.
Because they are duty.
Yeah, it's duty. It's become a duty. It's not an easy. Listen, I feel bad for Frank Reich. I mean, it's hard to be a coach in the NFL. I love Frank Reich. When Frank Reich was in Philly, he was one of the most respected people in that locker room. Period. When he spoke, people listened. And I don't think leadership is his problem or anything like that. I just think he's fallen short on a team that has not been constructed well. Chris Ballard has not done a great job. We talked about that, but they were behind the 8 ball because of Andrew Luck. So I feel for Frank Reich. It sucks that, the quarterbacks that you guys made a decision on, because he was involved in those decisions, I'm pretty sure, especially the Carson one. And that one bit him in the ass with the draft capital and that sort of thing. He shares a lot of the blame. So this is the way business goes, and I feel for him, but Colts got to start over.
I wonder if they're going to go defensive or offensive-minded coach.
It's an interesting question. I think if you're in the market for a quarterback, a lot of times people do talk about an offensive head coach. Although I have campaigned for the DC in San Francisco, D'Amico Ryans, to be a Carolina guy. I just, the hard thing about going defense when you draft a young quarterback is that if the quarterback's pretty good, he's gonna be a kingmaker, and he's gonna make a coordinator a new head coach, and that cycle's gonna happen.
Yep.
So you're gonna have to change coaches a bunch. I think you probably go offense, right?
I mean, I think it would be fun to see an Indianapolis team that was defensive minded from its head coach's perspective. So, like, we could put in place D'Amico Ryans as a defensive minded head coach, and then you get yourself a young hotshot coordinator like you're talking about to work with your
Who's going to
draft.
leave in 2 years?
With your draft pick at quarterback who sets you up for success, who no longer needs the coordinator after year 3 or 4.
Josh Allen.
And you can bring in a new guy to work with.
Speak of the devil, it's a copycat league. Nick Sirianni was Colts OC for 3 or 4 years before heading to Philly.
Yeah.
Do you agree that could be a formula for success?
Any of this could be.
Okay.
The bottom line is you got to hit on the quarterback.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, absolutely.
That's it. Now, you look at Justin Herbert, though, with a defensive head coach. Like, I do think he's holding him back.
You think it's an attractive job to prospective coaches?
I don't think so.
Probably have a long leash with a new quarterback.
I don't know that I do think it's an attractive job. Now, I'd have to look a little bit closer, but I'm just thinking about, like, some of the jobs that might be open this year.
They do have a par 3 in front of their facility, Chris. They do. I swear to God, when you pull into the Indianapolis Colts facility, there's a little practice hole. I feel like if I was a head coach, if things were shitty, you could quietly
I thought you meant
quit.
like a par 3 course. You're
No,
saying
there's
one
like
hole?
2 or 3 holes out front,
Okay.
probably, I'd say. But you can go out there and quietly quit in a peaceful,
picture
serene,
this.
well-mown mode.
I think it's mowed.
I think it's mown.
Yeah, I think it's all mown.
How about this? The
God,
defensive
Kyle.
coordinator right now in Indianapolis is Gus Bradley.
Yeah, Gus Bradley.
33 years in the NFL.
Yeah. No,
That's too
no
long.
thanks.
It's like the presidency. You
Gus
can't become a
Bradley.
head coach after that long. You can't be a head coach again after 33 years in the NFL.
What about Bill Belichick? I think he was in there like a fucking half century before he got the.
But there was
No, he wasn't. He was in.
There's new rules.
It was about 20 years for him.
New rules.
Yeah,
Do you
new-
agree though? Like,
I don't know, man. I do think they should take shots at younger coaches. And Gus Bradley did beat Patrick Mahomes this year. After all that, people were like, because he got up at the podium and was like, "We did a good job against the Kansas City Chiefs last year when I was in Vegas." And people were like, "Nah, you didn't," and that was true. But then he did a good job the first game they played this year. That's actually one of Kansas City's losses inexplicably.
Yep.
20-17, I think, too. It's
Sky.
one of their favorite scores.
Sky Moore game.
Sky Moore game. I don't know who the fuck they hire, man. It's not gonna be me. That's all that matters, and that's a good thing.
So
Frank
talking
Reich,
about
I don't wanna
6'4",
coach that
211.
team. Huh?
6'4", 211 for Frank Reich. 57th overall pick in 85.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
Say something
Roommates
bad
with
about
Boomer
Frank.
Esiason?
He went to Maryland.
I think he was roommates
Maryland
with
guy.
Boomer Esiason.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so
talking about the Sky, you had a interaction with the Sky this weekend, right?
Yeah, nice cowboy.
an interaction with the sky. That's good. I almost didn't have an interaction with the fucking sky because the private plane that I had paid a lot of money for to take my wife on our dating anniversary up to the Philadelphia Phillies game. She's a South Jersey gal. Been waiting to see a World Series game her whole life. So I splurged on a little PJ via Wheels Up. You see the fucking commercials for them, time to time. Well, don't believe everything you see.
Wheels down, Bob.
More like wheels down. More like wheels down because we were slated to take off at 12 midnight. The pilots, the people at Wheels Up knew that we were at a World Series game. We were told no problem. If you're sitting in traffic at 12:15 in the morning because the baseball game's fucking 7 hours long, no problem. So we're sitting in traffic, gridlock, 12:10. Decide we want to check in with the pilots. Oh, they're leaving the FBO because their
What's
duty
FBO?
time is up. Well, I don't know what
Flight-based
it's.
ordnance.
Is that what it is?
That's where the private planes
Well, it's
park.
where the fucking planes take off.
Yeah.
And so here we are, no hotels because World Series. I haven't slept in days. I'm fucking tired, man. This was a put the team on my back moment, right? And I'm hearing that the pilots have inexplicably left the FBO because of duty time, which is, of course, supposed to be, you're supposed to warn people if the pilots are going to leave if you're 15 minutes late for a fucking private flight. That's kind of in the description of taking a private plane. So these guys leave, no disrespect to the pilots because Wheels Up had them by the balls. And we get to the FBO. I am fucking so mad, dude. I'm like, I got to Uber back to Virginia because our kids are here. We got childcare through the night. Like, this is a one night thing, one night only. Yeah, I'm complaining about a first world problem. Buckle up. Now I'm going to keep doing it. So we get to the FBO, grab my stuff. I'm going to get in a car at 1 a.m. to go back to Virginia. I'm going to get home at 6 a.m. And somebody taps me on the shoulder, who will go unnamed in the FBO, and say, "You going to Charlottesville?" One of the Houston Astros owners lives in the Charlottesville area.
Kids went to school here.
He's a great man. And he had an Astros vest on and that sort of thing. He had 3 people with him. What are the odds that somebody's going to Charlottesville, Virginia at 12:30 in the morning after a game like that? Well, me and my wife, looking like dumbasses in our Phillies gear, hop on the plane with a couple Astros execs and hitch a ride back to Charlottesville. And I'm so appreciative of Redacted. Because should I share his name? Probably shouldn't share his name.
I don't know.
I probably shouldn't.
He does have a low profile.
He does. I'm so appreciative of Redacted because he's such a great man.
Always been like that.
Maybe he should start a Wheels Up because Wheels Up not very good at getting wheels up. If
Wheels
you know what
even
I mean.
more up.
Yeah. So, anyways, dude, and I'm still locked into a contract with Wheels Up for a certain amount of hours. The rest of the year. Fuck it, it's going to be uncomfortable in the cabin because I say get net jets or something like that. I am such a scorned individual right now. I don't care if the pilots side-eye me when I get on the plane to go wherever I'm going next.
So they were over hours. The minute they tuck in their shirt on their little
the point is,
their
Kyle,
outfit, they go on time.
when you book when you
I want to know.
when you book a flight like that and you pay too much money for a flight like that, it should be in the description on the manifest that if you get to the airport 15 minutes behind, the pilots are going to go home.
Now they have to, because if that bird goes down, like Wheels Up's
kaput. Fucked.
Yeah.
But what Wheels Up needs to do is tell the customer who's paying a lot of money for the service that maybe you want to be careful about not getting to the thing 15 minutes late, as people do routinely when they go that way.
Right, or if you're scheduling a flight for midnight after a World Series game, maybe it's the first flight of those pilots' day, not the last flight of those pilots' day.
I don't want to expect too much out of Wheels Up. So anyways, this is my Ask Jeeves, or fucking, is that what they do when they leave reviews and shit?
Yeah.
Like Yelp.
Yeah, this is my Yelp.
Jeeves.
This is my PJ Yelp here.
Buddy.
And there's going to be some people who are going to say first world problems. Hey, fuck you.
Wait, did you still have to pay for it?
Huh?
Did you still have to pay for the way back?
No, but it doesn't matter. I was almost stranded into, you know why I didn't have to pay for it? Because it's like the 17th time with Wheels Up.
Hey, you got
They offered to pay for my Uber.
Oh my god.
You got a dating anniversary?
Southwest would have given me a fucking coupon somewhere. Go ahead.
Are you like 16 years old?
No, man. Fuck you. You know, some people like their family and shit like that. You know what I mean?
I love my family,
Yeah.
man.
Hey, Chris, do
Yeah.
you remember the Dream Team?
Hollow Man, me standing in the FBO.
Do you remember the Dream Team?
Yeah. No.
Comprised of all the great players
Yeah.
in the NBA. I don't even know the year. Well,
Yeah.
1992.
They had a coach by the name of Chuck Daly, and Chuck Daly held a team meeting before their first practice. He said, "I got one rule here: you got to be on time."
Fuck Chuck Daly and fuck Wheels Up. Well, people weren't paying Chuck Daly a bunch of money for a service.
He's like, "We're out here in
You
Barcelona."
know, I just want to say this.
together."
So people have a very accurate representation of this before you tweet at me and tell me it's a first world problem. Again, fuck you. We asked specifically if the World Series game runs late,
Yeah,
as
they
it
told you,
does,
yeah.
will we be okay? At 10 p.m., you guys will be fine.
You guys were in the right.
You guys will be fine. Meg was, I'm going to pull my wife out of the Phillies game, a 3-2 ball game in the
No.
bottom of the ninth.
No.
Here's the worst part, and this leads to me Saturday night. I'm not going to splurge on a flight down to Baton Rouge. I went to the Phillies game. That hurt my pockets, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to go down to Baton Rouge.
been a rough week.
I'm not Pat McAfee. I can't just swipe the card and
Throw on a blazer and get on the
just
jet.
hop on the PJ. This is a sometimes thing for me. So anyways, Saturday night, I'm sitting here with Macon. By the way,
I hung out.
We hung out.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
And
Game ball. Me.
Game ball you for hanging out.
Yep.
Did you have fun?
I did have fun.
Good.
I did have fun.
And we watched LSU.
Yep.
And to be honest, it looked fucking stupid on TV. And Ryan Russillo is sending pictures of, from the field. He's rushing the field.
Constantly. Maybe be a little more present, Ryan, in your phone.
So Hollow Man me, like double whammy. Hey, and by the way, this stat, I forget the stat, but I'll tell you a story. One of the last times a city was playing a team in two sports at the same time, including the World Series, was St. Louis Cardinals playing the Texas Rangers in 2011. And the St. Louis Rams, coached by Steve Spagnuolo, went to Dallas to get the ball run up our ass by the Cowboys. And the night before the game, imagine my displeasure when Steve decided that we were going to go support the St. Louis Cardinals and go sit in the upper deck as a team. We bust to the goddamn Rangers, to the Rangers Park, bro.
Arlington.
It's 40 minutes. Another Miami situation. The city's like a damn
great area, Arlington.
Yeah, it's looked nice. I could see the whole area from our seats.
How was the stadium? You could see all of it.
I couldn't see the stadium that well. I was so high up in that motherfucker. But anyways, the Cardinals got smoked, dude, like 17-1. We get back to the hotel like 10 p.m. My back's acting up because I'm sitting in the bleachers at a fucking World Series game. I could care less. And it just leads me on the next point, which is that I shouldn't go to pro sporting events anymore because I am kryptonite, bro. Whether it was the game right after I retired when I came to a Bears game and y'all lost to the Packers. Not that was me because there's obviously a track record there. But
Chiefs won against the Bills last year.
That was it. That's it. I've been to a Blues Stanley Cup game. We got shellacked by the Bruins. Of course, we won that series. And then I've been to now the Phillies game where we lost to Houston. I went to Yankee Stadium. They lost to fucking Houston. I should stay away. Honestly.
I think so. Why don't we do this? We'll get a couple VR headsets. You'll send me. I'll put one on. I'll turn the little switch on. You can be wherever you want to be and have the other one. And then you can turn the switch on. We'll connect. I'll be in person.
So you don't have to go to the game, but you'll be there.
Like an Oculus.
The metaverse, Chris. Welcome to the metaverse.
I don't even think that's safe for the team.
In 2011, the Cardinals won that game 16-7.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
You sure about that?
Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. It was the first
Saturday?
game in
I couldn't
Texas.
see the fucking field, dude.
Night.
Couldn't see the goddamn field.
Megan fact-checked him.
You got it right that it was lopsided.
Yeah, it was lopsided.
Yeah.
So that maybe we did push the Cardinals over the edge that night.
Yeah.
But imagine me at 10 p.m. on a Quicks bus riding through Dallas.
So pissed.
Just like, dude, this is my time.
Yeah.
So anyways, maybe I'm not as bad as I think. But that trip was awful. No, the Phillies trip was cool. And by the way, I want to shout out the dude in Philly who actually bought me a drink. You know how they always say, like, you'll never buy a drink again in this city? Mm-hmm. It was 3-4 years running, buying drinks left and right in Philly. And this guy met me in the concourse at the bank and bought me a drink. So shout out to that guy, man. That's a great guy. He was cool as fuck, man.
I love a good fan interaction.
Code breaks, telling somebody to sit down at a World Series game?
Sure.
Yes.
Yep.
A guy
100%.
in mittens told these guys from the South Jersey, maybe, or no, they were definitely from Philly, to sit down, and there was almost a fight in the stands. They were like, "It's the fucking World Series." Code break.
I think that is a code break.
So Hollow Man me, dude. Just generally a Hollow Man for me.
Would you like to share that you met Mattress Max pilots?
That's the best part. Yeah, that's the best part. So I'm in the FBO, and there's these two guys sitting there, and I have no idea. But then Redacted starts talking to him, and he's like, "These are Mattress Max pilots," and I've never fanboyed so much for somebody's pilots.
Who's
I was like,
Mattress Mac?
"When's Mattress Mac?" What?
Oh, interesting, Kyle.
Hey Kyle, how did you get the rock
Is
off?
that like the MyPillow
How did you
guy?
lift the rock off of you this morning? Because you're living under
Is
a
that like
fucking
the
rock.
MyPillow guy?
You've got a cell phone, yeah?
Yeah. Can you just explain to me who Mattress Mac is?
Okay, Mattress
Quit
Mac.
fucking playing with your food.
I'm gonna do it with as few words as possible. Mattress Mac sells furniture. Mattress Mac hedges a furniture giveaway every year with a large bet. Mattress Mac, degenerate gambler.
Got it.
He's like 80 years old. Mattress Mac
He's like Dan Bilzerian for old gamblers.
for furniture guys.
Always bets the Astros.
He's like a Christian.
Always bets the Astros. Okay.
He's like
How
a
much did he win?
He's a Christian.
75 million.
75 mil.
Stop.
He's a Christian furniture Dan Belzerian. And he has pilots, and I met them, and he's
Oh my God, he's like an actual old man. Like,
dog. He's cool as shit. The one thing about the Astros that I'm okay with, well, two things: Dusty Baker and Mattress Mac, and Bregman, because we partied one night and he was cool. Yeah, was he a big cheater?
I want to meet Altuve.
He's
I
an
want to meet
LSU guy,
Altuve
right?
because he's tiny.
I don't want to talk about LSU. Place looks.
Altuve and I would be buddies. I feel like because he's like the smallest guy in the room, and I'm the biggest
just
guy in the room.
carry
He
him
might be the
around.
baddest guy in the room. I don't know.
If you let him wear a wire, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So you said Hollow Man. I would almost argue this kind of, you got some cool stories out of this.
Yeah,
It's almost a game ball.
Thank you, Wheels Up.
Well, game ball you for making it through all these.
Yeah, thank you.
Trials and
I appreciate it. But a big
tribulations and
game
coming
ball
up
to
with a
you
cool
for
story.
hanging out, too, though.
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks.
Saturday
And
night
Yeah.
activities gang?
Yeah.
Okay.
Put
Let's
in like
talk
6
more
hours.
Miller Lite mentions.
Okay, go.
Give them all out.
I don't know the nomenclature for the referees / officials, but whoever was responsible for the pass interference on Eddie Jackson,
Terrible.
and whoever was responsible for the no call,
Even
on,
more terrible.
on the hip jujitsu move by the cornerback on Chase Claypool. Granted, you got to catch that football if you got hands in the. You got to make a play on the football better than what I saw from Chase Claypool. He had no chance to catch it because he was getting tackled. So that's my hollow man, the officials in the Bears game.
I'll give you Hollow Man. Drew Tranquil. You guys see this play?
No.
Nah.
Falcons Chargers. Cordero Patterson from the 1 or
Oh,
the
my
2.
goodness.
Meets 49
Should have just said Cordero Patterson.
right in the hole. Pull this bad boy up, Kingston.
Hey, you want to talk about rhinoceros? Like an attack? That's great too.
I got it.
The celebration or the not the celebration.
Yikes, dude. Boom. That happens to the best of us.
And look how juiced Cordero Patterson was after it. Like you know that's on your highlight. Look at him get up. He's like, "Oh, that's a big play. That's a big play."
Damn, dude. You know that happens to the best of us. And to Drew Tranquil.
Sure.
He'll be the first to tell you.
And to me. I've been trucked before. If you're a fan of Drew Tranquil, look away, says Ryan Sample on Twitter.
Cordero.
Drew
Football player.
Drew Tranquil stands are shaking in their boots right now.
Yeah. My son took the jersey off his wall
Yeah, pretty much.
this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More like, never mind. Okay.
Best, worst, Bev.
Best and worst. Best flight. You guys go first.
Best flight will be the two winners, men and women's winners of the elite groups at the New York City Marathon, Evan Chibet and Sharon Lokedi of Kenya. They're going to have a long flight back. I'm sure it's going to be highly sponsored seats, the lay-down seats, beautiful. You just ran for 26 and a half miles. You're probably gassed. A nice nap is in order. If I was going home to Kenya, I'd probably take an edible on the way home.
Yeah.
Wake up a champion.
If I was going home to
Wake up a
Richmond, I'd take a
champion.
fucking edible on the way home. I'm
wake
going to
up
take
a
an edible on
champion
the
in
way
your
home
home
today.
country.
I'm going to Ivy.
That's my best flight. So
Okay.
shout out to the winners.
What if they're on the fucking plane doing calisthenics? They're probably cramping up on the plane. You remember when guys used to cramp up on the plane?
Oh, it was like,
Oh.
are you okay? Like for real?
No, they're not okay,
Yeah.
dude. Guys rolling around in the aisles. Go ahead.
Best flight, Miami Dolphins. They we talked about it. Beat the Lions
Miami
by 4, then the
Dolphins.
Chicago Bears by 3, Browns by Texans. They're in a good spot to get to 8-3, and a couple of Bears appear to be legitimately spooky, and the Lions can get you any given week. So Miami Dolphins.
I'm going to go Seahawks.
Yeah,
You know, like another, they keep reeling off wins when we think like last week, the Giants, you're like, all right, it finally comes to an end for the Seahawks. They lose a game here. They don't look great. Geno looks human.
I wonder if they flew to Munich. I'll look that up as you.
I think
you
they
speak.
fly Tuesday.
Oh, so they fly Tuesday?
It's my guess, Monday or Tuesday.
Well, I don't
Or
think
Tuesday.
do you think they hopped on a flight out, you know?
Sometimes.
Wait. Where do they play?
That would stress me out having to pack for two things. I hate that.
Were they
Right,
home
but even
yesterday?
flying back home, I'd be like, "Oh, we gotta do this again in a day."
Yeah, you're right.
But
Wherever they're going, they're happy.
yep,
You know, Pete Carroll's got Jordan Peterson
They
on
were
the
in
flight.
Arizona.
yes,
So I mean that doesn't really help them. They got to fly home first.
Okay.
Get all
Kyle,
that
look
shit.
at a map. You got to go up. Yeah, you got to go up and then
Doesn't-
go right.
Doesn't really help them.
I could be a pilot. Okay. Gonna fucking work for Wheels Up. The duty time, dude. I was watching games for 27 hours yesterday. I could fly a plane. Okay.
Oh, this is interesting. According to some cat, Seattle will be in the air for only 1/2 hour longer than Tampa Bay due to being much farther north.
That's incredible. See?
Yeah.
Again, me,
You're pretty good.
pilot.
Yeah, okay. What do you do when
Pull up.
you're about to land?
Out.
What do you do?
You make sure that the back wheels hit first. You want to hit the back wheels first.
You aced it. I was
You
just going
wanna
to take
t-
the
you-
wheels down.
You want to take
the
obviously,
wheels out.
We've already done that.
Yeah.
You say we're about to land. We put the wheels down at about 5,000 feet,
Okay.
and we always want to check to make sure they're down.
Yeah.
And then at that point,
where you
we want to
lean out,
angle
you
the
look.
nose. We take it off autopilot. We want to angle the nose up.
Okay, you're at 30,000 feet. Whole lot of turbulence. What do you do?
I get on the thing and say, "Stay calm, everybody." It's a lot like being on a boat. Seriously, that's what somebody told me. It's a lot like being on a boat. So I would get on the intercom system.
And just say that.
And I would be like, think about it. If you were on a boat and you went over some bumps, would you be nervous? No. We're just going over some chop. There's a couple waves here. Can't sink this boat.
Yeah. That's really good.
Yeah.
A lot better than anything I've ever heard.
Yeah. Okay. I want to be a pilot's PR guy, like basically like a PA system guy that rides up into the cockpit with the pilots and talks to the people.
They're so loud when they come on.
No, or
they
not
don't
loud
have
at
to be-
all.
No, they don't have to be
Or they're whispering.
and then a guy's voice nasally. It's like, I just let me fucking sleep. I fell asleep on the runway. Leave me be.
How about when a pilot doesn't apologize for being 19 hours late? They just kind of gloss over it. Like, here's some peanuts. All right, so yeah, worst flight. I don't know
Worst
about
flight,
Green Bay.
Tennessee.
LA, the Rams. The Rams, dude. Tennessee's got a good flight. They're happy.
No, because they're like, we don't have enough with Tannehill to beat them.
What do you mean? They played them tough.
They
They
don't
beat
have
them
enough
before, yeah.
with Malik Willis to beat them. They
Yeah.
don't throw the football. They're not versatile.
Damn, Kyle.
Yeah,
Nancy
damn,
negative.
Kyle.
That's what I'm thinking on the plane.
America's
like,
team.
we just gave our best shot to the Kansas City Chiefs.
With Malik Willis? I don't think that's
That's
your
not
best
their
shot.
best shot.
With right now,
That's not their best shot.
that is their best shot right now.
Well, with Tannehill injured?
Well, let's go. Where's Tannehill? Where was
He'll
he
be
last
back,
night?
bro.
So what have you done for me lately, League?
Oh, gosh.
I
we
was
did
gonna,
power rankings this morning accordingly.
Okay.
I was going to take whoever you guys didn't take from Rams, Raiders, Colts, Packers. And you went Tennessee? Is that what you just went with?
Yeah,
the Rams?
Sunday night, short week. Fuck, I hate
Yeah, the Colts have the worst flight.
flying home.
Colts have
at
the worst.
They
night.
don't even have a coach now.
Bro, Colts have a worse flight.
That was
the
their
kind of-
last flight ever with Frank Reich. That's sad.
That's really sad.
Yeah.
You
Colts.
land in an empty airport parking lot. You're the only humans on the road.
Next. Oh, I got a viewing party.
I do too.
Bear with me. Zach Wilson's ex-girlfriend. Her new man caught a touchdown.
Milne.
Yeah. Caught a touchdown yesterday's game. So she's all like, I win. And then
Yeah.
she's at the game and up on the Jumbotron, they show the ex beating Josh Allen and the Buffalo
Wow,
Bills. And you're
that's
like,
funny.
ooh.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm
Somebody's
gonna act like I didn't see that.
Right.
hide
So-
your mamas.
Viewing party, you know?
Zach Wilson is hot. That's what you
Hotter than Stetson
So
Bennett?
Brennan Schmidt's hot
Brennan Schmidt.
because he looks like Brennan Schmidt. Google Brennan Schmidt, former Jet, former
Brennan-
Virginia D lineman.
Brennan Schmidt's hot? Yeah. What?
He's
Mary,
hot.
fuck, Mary, kill. Stetson Bennett, Brennan Schmidt.
I'm too
No, no,
close
no,
to
no, no,
Brennan
no.
Schmidt.
Fuck Mary
I'm
Kill.
too close
Sam
to Brennan
Hartman,
Schmidt.
Sam Hartman, Stetson Bennett, or Zach Wilson. Fuck Mary Kill.
Give me the first one again.
Sam Hartman.
Oh fuck. Easy. Okay. And then
Look at thick Zach Wilson, Brennan Schmidt.
Yeah,
look at
Schmitty
us.
looks
Look at us.
great.
He's got a henna tattoo.
Yeah.
That's a henna tattoo. After the Music City Bowl, that's a henna tattoo, bro. That was a
He
bad
does
time.
look like him.
yeah, that's Zach Wilson's uncle.
I like your
Brennan
viewing party,
Schmidt.
Chris.
Yeah,
I do.
It's a good viewing party.
My viewing party is we're going to Missoula, Montana, where the Grizz mauled the California Polytechnical State University
Yeah,
Caltech.
57-0 in a blizzard.
the blizzard.
And you know what? I've never been to a game in Missoula,
Yeah, we need to
but
go.
I've heard all about it. We're only there in the summer and never the fall.
We need to go. That's my bevel
We're
off the board.
great.
Nice.
Snow game, first one, looks gorgeous.
No games.
That's
Just give me
great.
snow.
That's great.
Yeah.
Viewing party. Marcus Brady. Colts couldn't score. Fired me for this. Next week's viewing party, probably Frank Reich.
Mm-hmm.
But Marcus Brady got to watch Indy just pee down their legs in Foxborough.
Viewing party, Ben Johnson. Is that his name? The offensive coordinator. I ask every time. The offensive coordinator, and fuck it. It's just a weird name. Ben Johnson.
Translates to was a penis.
Was a penis, yeah, loosely. Okay. So, yeah, because he's going to be a head coach
Has
soon.
been a penis.
Yeah.
I have a fly on the wall, which is going to be, I'd love to have been TJ Hawkinson experiencing not only the game yesterday, the big win after the trade, but being there throughout the week, experiencing a winning culture. It's got to be new for him.
You're getting it now, Kyle.
Yeah, that's my fly on the wall. And he had 9 targets, 9 catches. Guy went for 70
Get
yards.
busy early.
It's huge for them, man.
Yeah. I'll go fly on the wall. Nate Collins murdering turkeys because that's beginning right now as we speak. You know, he works for Kelly Bronze. You know, he's like the turkey executioner. Did you know this? Did you know this?
I'm not sure how to answer.
What
Dr.
the
Fax.
fuck?
Honesty is always the best policy, and so I did not know that.
So Dr. Fax as a side hustle.
Are you surprised by that?
No.
Yeah, actually.
Really?
Yeah, he's like a tender cat.
Jovial,
I can't
docile,
picture
chill.
him murdering.
Well,
Yo, they're
the way he
turkeys,
thinks
yo.
about it, he's
They're just fucking
putting
turkeys,
food
yo.
on the table, and it's over quick, from what I hear. But he's just out there. He's like the fucking.
Does he have the gun from No Country for Old Men?
It's like that, dude.
Okay.
Yep.
It's like that.
He's going to bring the poultry protesters to our door.
Bring him.
No.
I'd love to have.
We get some mashed
I'd love to have
potatoes
some-
on the
You shoot
front
them
of
with
the
guns?
COJ.
The turkeys?
Yeah.
Really?
No,
No,
it's
like
not
an
an
air
gun.
Here.
You haven't seen
it's
No
an air
Country for Old
tank.
Men?
No, I have.
So it's
The
an
air
air
gun.
tank.
Tell us
with
I
about
don't
that
remember
movie.
things.
It's an air tank that's connected to a little metal pin, and when you press the button, the air shoots against the pin, and it goes into their brain and back out, and it just.
Oh,
Yeah.
lovely.
So it's very.
It's not a gun as
It's
much
very.
as
It's
like
a very chill
right?
way
Air
to
pressure.
kill a bird.
No, you're
Yeah.
right. Yep.
But yeah.
It's the most
Thanksgiving's coming, and so
moral
yeah,
way to do it.
fly on the wall. I want to see what Nate Collins is all about back there. Does he show remorse? Does he cry at the end of it?
You
Does
know,
he cry in the car? Yeah, I mean, honestly, the whole process is. Happy
we
Thanksgiving.
had a fly in our house this week,
Fly on the wall to fly.
and I killed it with a rolled up New Yorker.
Uh-huh.
And there was blood. There was blood spatter
Uh-huh.
from this fly.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually didn't. I killed it on like an island, not really a wall so much. But that fly is now deceased.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be lying if I said and wonder what that felt like sometimes. You know, yeah, not so much just like, you know, we were talking about it on Saturday night. What's it like? What if it's worse than this?
What hell?
Dying.
Like after death,
Yeah.
afterlife.
Yeah. Like, is it better or
Checkpoint.
worse?
It's got to
Yeah.
be. It's got to be. It's got to be good. It's
Can't
gotta
be worse.
Everything. I would say it's
I
everything.
don't think I have to do any power rankings in hell.
I would say it's everything.
But to your point on this weekend, you're like, what if it's just Wednesday over and over again?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Over and over.
If you know,
All you
it's
are right now is a guy who doesn't have a
It's like
telescope.
Severance. You can't escape the office.
Yeah.
You're just fucking trying to book a guest perpetually. You're trying to, yeah.
So I know I just said I don't like murdering, but the flies, my family doesn't like flies.
Okay.
or
That's good.
Insects
We have
in the
anything
house.
else?
Yeah.
MVP?
STL Memorial.
STL Memorial.
STL Memorial.
I'm
How
gonna
about
give-
the guy that the fan came on the field yesterday and nobody saw it?
Oh,
It was
Where
perfect timing.
where was it?
It was
What
the
game?
Raiders Jacksonville game.
Exactly.
The punt. Raiders punt to Jacksonville. This guy, right as the camera's panning to watch the returner catch a punt, this guy comes from one corner, shirtless, with a ball that we hope he grabbed from a ball boy on the sidelines and sprinted across the field.
And just like that, Trevor Lawrence was like, fuck, I'm not going to win STL Memorial anymore.
wow.
That's the guy.
Balling in obscurity, Damian Pierce, Thursday night, 27 for 139. He gets like 2 extra yards than you think he's going to get. He gets really small, hides in there between you big guys, and always falls forward. It's ridiculous. That guy's amazing. I love that guy.
Roy, Pierce, or Kenneth Walker?
Kenneth Walker, but the Pierce is is also very good.
I'd love to get something right in preseason. So it would be
STL
great if-
Memorial for me is going to be. It's tough to name an STL Memorial for a guy that's paid so highly, but he's a guy that not many people know, and that's Joe Tooney, left guard for the Kansas City Chiefs. Technician, quiet assassin. He's the guy that relays the message from the center to Orlando Brown. Polar opposites of Trey Smith on the right side. Joe Tooney is like a Madden. Joe Tooney is like Madden creative player 1 offensive line style. Like he uses the same technique all the time. He was a wrestler. He's a baller, and he had a great game last night. Bevel Conway, I'm going to give it to last night, Sunday Night Football. I drove home 6 hours with the wife and kid yesterday, and it was a great drive, but it was so nice to get home and watch that game.
It was beautiful.
Arrowhead was awesome. Did I give my
Now-
Bevel Conway
yeah.
to the jerseys, the reds, the blues, the whites, the light blues, and,
Yeah.
then, and then you
Yeah,
add
white's
to the fact,
all right.
Yeah, the red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue, huh?
A lot of it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I see what
Yeah,
you're doing.
Kyle. I bet.
Whistling
sorry.
Dixie over there, Chris,
okay.
aren't we?
Yeah.
Sorry, pimp. LSU, Alabama.
Yeah.
It's my Bevel Conway Award winner. I like how they protect the eye in the center of the field when they rush the
That
field.
was interesting.
Y'all can all rush the field. All y'all come on here, but nobody touch the eye.
That's such a cool place. I'm over it. It's such a cool place. We're going to go there soon.
You need
What's
that
the
game
biggest SEC game remaining?
Not applicable, it looks like. Yeah, not applicable.
Not here.
Next
Okay.
year.
Game ball, Patrick Mahomes, 43 completions, back-breaking, tying possession, putting his team in position to win the football game, doing what he does best.
Game ball, Josh Uche, New England Patriots. 3 sacks. Judon also had 3, but Uche doesn't wear red sleeves, so he gets less shine, except for on this show, where he gets a game ball.
Game ball. I'm going to give it to Gino.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a year-long game ball. Like it's been long overdue. I don't know if we've given him a game ball yet, but this guy just continues to look like a real bona fide NFL quarterback. Where you been hiding?
Well, New York.
Yeah.
New York.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
It just goes to show how much situations play into
Situations, bro.
Before we get into
Situations.
before we move on to Nicole and the college football playoff, do you all have any college football playoff ranking guesses?
Yeah, I think you might have some. How low does Tennessee go?
How low
If you're
can
doing the
they
rankings.
Should be 5.
go? Give me a second.
I wanted to
There
punish
are
him.
5 in the poll that came out last night.
Yeah.
Success.
Oh, what
Yeah,
did Kansas State come out or TCU?
TCU.
Yeah, 4.
Four.
Good.
Should be 4.
Good.
Well, they're 4 unbeaten, so let's have those guys in the 4 in some order. It's probably Georgia. I think the AP's got it right. Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, TCU.
Did Georgia Tech beat Virginia Tech this weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, America's teams. Georgia
Yeah.
Tech.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ramblin' Wreck.
Lost them in a shootout. Couldn't be us. Our defense is too good.
Can't wait for that Commonwealth Cup.
Are we going to go to Blacksburg?
Well, that's interesting. I traveled with that team for about 2 decades and haven't seen a win in Blacksburg, so maybe,
Maybe we go.
yeah.
Okay.
Let's go
I know a
every
great
other
spot
year.
to stay down there.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah, is it called Charlottesville and then
don't
drive in
wanna-
2 hours?
No, I don't want to. You could really do it the right way if you went down to Roanoke and.
We could rent an Airbnb, which of course would be overrun by murderous rednecks. They'll probably kill us in our. I'm just joking. They're fucking cool people.
engineers.
They are cool.
They're just
They
not-
build stuff.
Yeah,
They're-
it's not very smart.
No, they're smart. See, you're the reason they hate. You're the reason people hate Virginia.
Yeah,
You are the
exactly.
poster child for why people hate Virginia.
It's a badge of honor.
All right, we're gonna go Nicole Auerbach now.
Hold on.
Listen to the full podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and other podcast streaming platforms. Wherever you want to get the podcast, you can get the podcast. Pretty simple. New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Podcasts get pretty wild. This is real tame.